Hello and welcome to the BSL ChoboLeague round of 8. My name is Ray and with me here is Snipe.
Hey, how's it going? Glad to be back casting with you. It's too bad I couldn't do the Gosu League finals with you, but I heard there was pretty good games there, so I'm looking forward to some good games here in the ChoboLeague round of 8.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, today we have the round of 8 coming up, and before we jump into the first games, we'll of course look at the players, look at the matches we have here. We will do the full round of 8 today, so that's 4 best of 5s, and I will show you what games we have here on the stream. So there we go. This is the Wikipedia page of the BSL8 ChoboLeague, and here is the bracket. You can also see the bracket if you enter !bracket in the chat. You will get the link. Okay, so yeah, the first match we have Ethan, or Nice Backwards, against Shoop, so PVZ. Yeah, Snipe, do you have any information?
Yeah. So both of these players are quite strong. I mean, they're made it to the round of 8, so that says something, first of all. Eason is someone who I've been saying, like, since, the first stages of this tournament, the round of 64, 48, whatever they call it, the first round of Chobo League, I've been saying this is some guy that can go all the way. Shoop's no pushover. He can definitely mix it up. He is on my team, NAS B. I've known him for a long time. I played with him since CPL Season 1. Or even before that, actually, we were playing. And, like, strong Protoss player, but I think he's going to have his hands full with this Eason/nice guy. And he's, like I said, nice Eason, some guy I could see making it to the finals. Standing in his way, perhaps, if he gets maybe the ZVZ in the next round. You never know what happens there. So maybe that's one path I could see him losing in that ZVZ or something. But otherwise, I don't know who's going to be able to stop this guy. He's a monster. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, we'll see. So let's see how they did previously in this tournament. So you can see here, for example, Ethan, he did go 4-0 in his round of 16 group, which is definitely a good result. So very convincing advancement here. And then we have Shoop here, who did already also lose a game, but only against the winner of the group, Vebeth. So the other games were walkovers. So yeah, he got here by actually losing one game. So we'll see. That shouldn't mean anything. As Snipe mentioned, he's still a good player, and we'll see how he will do against Nice today. Yeah, and then I think we will go over the other games later on, but just a short preview. We have White against Chat here, another PVZ, and then we go into a TVT of Zebeth against Father, and then we have a PvP in Avocado against Sinclair. So a lot of, like, 3 different matchups. That's nice, but first of all we have some PVZs.
All right.
Okay, so the first game of Nice against, or Ethan against Shoop, is already loaded, and yeah, I would say we jump right into it. But for one thing I want to mention, as always in my streams, if you want, you can always put all your thoughts, all your comments in the chat. We will always read the chat, even during the game, but mostly after the game. So between the games, we'll always look at the chat and reply to what you guys have to say. So yeah, you can participate there if you want. And okay, with that said, I would say we can start the first game.
All right, PvZ on crossing field. Like I said, it looks like the speed says slowest on this replay. I wonder if they played. What's that?
It's saying fastest for me, so I'm
Okay.
not sure about that.
Maybe just a glitch on my end or something then.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Okay, and here we are with the first game. Of course, I will deactivate the progress bar before I switch to the replay. Or to the game.
Oh, colors are similar here. And we can't shift tab.
There we go. We can't shift tab. Oh, okay, we have a PvZ, so at least it's not a mirror matchup.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so the map is Crossing Fields, and here on the left top side of Crossing Fields we have our Protoss player Shoop.
Alright, and on the right side of the map we have our pink Zerg, Easton or Nice. So I'm really excited to see these games. I know Shoop is a player that can definitely mix it up. Like, he won't necessarily do the same thing twice in a couple games, or he might. Like, he's done 2 gates. He's known to do like crazy 1-base plays, like a fast Reaver or something. I don't know if we'll necessarily see that here, just because it's so easy to get a couple of bases with that backdoor base especially. So we might see something like that. Maybe him open a gateway and take that backdoor base earlier than we might see otherwise. And with Nice or Eason, I imagine he can easily take his natural and then take the back base if he wanted to after that.
Yeah, we have seen a few PvZs on this map on Tuesday already, so it's very common that Protoss player will just get the gateway in his main base, use some zealots to block this ramp off, and then take the expansion in the back door. And of course, as a Zerg seeing this, you always can easily go for fast 3 bases here. So that's very common, and I would expect we see the same here.
Yeah, so far Zerg's just opening safe with that overpool. Sheep scudding across the map, making sure everything looks normal, you know, not like any kind of lings coming his way or anything aggressive or anything greedy in like a couple of quick bases. If you saw something like that, maybe he'd rush his zealots, but we are seeing that gateway first coming up in his base. We're going to have to see if he's going to get a couple of zealots and go for that back nexus here momentarily.
And here we have this first interaction. Eason probably wanted to take the space, but blocked by Shoop. But of course, as we mentioned, there is this backdoor expansion, so he just took this one. It was slightly delayed, but overall, not a big deal, I would say.
It should be noted that back base does have a little bit less resources, I believe. Although it looks like this one has 1,500 minerals.
I think it's only this this one block in the right. Right?
Okay. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, we'll see when we can actually click on it later on.
I know there's been different versions of this map where there used to be like less resources in the back, so maybe that's what I'm thinking of. But... Or okay, the gas is reduced. There you go. Only 2,000 gas at that back base. That's why.
Okay, yeah, that's a big deal actually. The mineral blocks are pretty much the same, except one. Yeah, but the gas is very important.
Yep. And we are seeing Sheep take that back base, as we kind of expected would happen here. We'll have to see where he wants to go from here. I think standard for Protoss might be, you know, tech up to those Dark Templars, Corsairs, Dark Templars, and get an expansion, but there's definitely other ways to play. We got Eason coming across the map with a couple of lings, just checking out, see what's going on in front of Sheep's base, see if he's trying to expand out front, or if he can maybe break up the ramp or something, but he's not going to find anything he can do here.
Yeah, so both players are just building up. Shoop getting his cymatic scroll. We have to wait for that to finish to see the chosen tech path here. And on the other side we have the first gas being mined for the Zerg player. And the thing you want to look at is when the player reaches 100 gas, will he get a layer, or will he maybe get some zealot speeds or hydroden to put some early aggression on?
And it looks like we are seeing that. Yep, exactly. So looking pretty standard. I mean, this looks like it could be 3-hatch Spire type of play. Whereas Shoop has thrown down a Forge after his stab core. We don't have any additional tech as of yet. So maybe wanting to go for a fast +1 here, or a somewhat fast +1, I should say, relative to his opening.
Let's see. So he has almost 150 gas. Okay, no, I was looking at the other player. He definitely had 150 gas, and he chose the Stargate. And then when he reaches the next 100 gas, there's probably the +1 upgrade here.
Yeah.
there we go.
So yeah, it looks like he's playing he played this more like a you would see a gateway expand type opening, just without pressuring and just using the zealots to block instead, which I suppose fine way to play. Yeah, and there's that +1 as you suggested. So both players, I mean, keeping up with their macro, keeping up with their builds, getting that 4th hatchery put down here for Eason or Nice, and yes, there is the Spire.
Yeah, fast Spire. So will he take the second gas at his top expansion or bottom expansion? That's the question to decide if he goes to mass muters, or maybe he just wants to get the Spire to get 2 or 4 Scourges to fend off the initial 1 or 2 Corsairs. That's a very common reaction, and then drone up in the meantime. Or he will go for another gas and get a lot of Mutalisk, but we're not seeing that here, so I don't think he will commit too heavily to Mutalisk. Also the Hydralisk then in the natural already going up.
Now the first Corsair is out for Shoop. He hasn't sent it across the map at all. It's just sitting there for the moment. But that Spire is a little bit behind. Like he could definitely pick off 1 or 2 Overlords here if he gets that across the map. Okay, he's sending it now. He should be able to still get at least 1 Overlord kill.
Yeah, it's always a question if you want to go for those Overlords when the Corsair arrives the Zerg base, or you want to scout the entire Zerg base and all the expansions before the Scourges pop out and chase you away. So let's see what he plans to do here. So there's the scout of the Spire, here's the scout of the bottom base. He sees the gas here, the second gas, and tries to go for that Overlord now. First Scourges are on the way.
He did see that the Spire wasn't quite complete, so he should know that he has time to go this 1 Overlord, but then he's going to have to get out as the Scourges will be on their way very, very shortly after that.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Now he needs to get out immediately. They're coming.
Yep.
Oh!
Yeah. It's a nice little tip. If you see the Spire isn't done when you get your first Corsair there, you can get that Overlord kill before the Scourges get you. But if it's almost done, you know you got to get out of there right away. And Shoop just managing to barely get out of there with those Scourges chasing him down.
Yes. So as we see, our Zerg player here did not take the second gas very early. He just now took his second and third gas. So he was making some additional drones, did not commit to the Mutalisk, and is now going for Hydralisk. Actually, the missile attacks already upgrading in the evolution chamber, and also the Overlord speed. So I would assume we will get some Hydralisk upgrades soon as well, and then he will get some more upgrades, because as we see, Shoop is moving out. And where is the speed research? Okay, it's halfway done, but that's not a long time until that's ready.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I mean, he's going to be perfectly fine. We're starting to make Hydras now on the Zerg side. Now that the Hydra upgrades... Wait, wasn't that almost finished? It looks like he just restarted his Hydra upgrade or something. Did he cancel that?
No, I think. Or I didn't see it. I just saw the +1 in the evolution chamber research.
Okay,
before.
maybe I just looked at the wrong thing. But he has gone up to 6 hatcheries here. Yeah. So he's going to have a lot of Hydralisks coming out.
Yes.
I don't know, like, where's Shoop's tech? Okay, he does have the Templar archives done and Storm on the way. No Templar out quite yet, but it looks like he's gearing up to take his natural expansion as well. Throwing down that pylon, going to get some cannons and protect it with some Zealot and Templar. His spending is getting a little bit up there, which has me a little bit worried if he loses these Zealots especially. Pushing out
yeah,
in
he
front of
definitely has to be careful. You can't fight that many Hydras without Storm, so yeah, he retreats here, wants to save his Zealots, reinforce them with some High Templars that he's probably building right now. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, just gather up a big army with a lot of Storms to combat those Hydras. But as we speak, the Storms, there's one Storm ready, and the Hydras are coming. The cannons are not quite done, so I think this is a hard defense here for Shoop.
Yeah, this is looking scary. I mean, gets a decent Storm off, but only kills a couple of Hydras, weakening some others. And he's got half his Zealots across the map. He could really use those in this fight to help defend. A couple more Templar coming down, but they're not quite ready for Storm.
Oh, that's unfortunate. No, he can't lose those. No, he can't lose those. He needs to save them. Okay, Storm is now done. Now he can Storm.
Okay, he does get that storm
so-
barely off. 1 health. Look at that, 1 HP.
Oh, nice. Yeah, but I think now that he lost the cannons and he like lost the chance of a good fight, it's pretty hard because now he has not a single storm left, so he has only zealots, and you just can't fight many speed hydras, which are already upgraded as well now. The +1 carapace also finishing, so those are 1/1 upgraded hydras any second, and you can't fight that without storm.
Yeah, and just being pushed back into his natural here, or back into his main, I should say, from his natural, has set him back. It looks like we're gonna have maybe a drop coming out too. He just loaded up a few hydras in these overlords, but he's sending them away, so I don't know. Maybe he's gonna try and drop that back base. Oh, but the Corsairs are flying out.
Oh,
They're not gonna catch him though. They're just gonna fly a little bit too. That's a
quite-
bit unfortunate for him. Yeah.
Oh, turning around, turning around.
Oh,
The map
can he
hack
catch
is
those?
on.
Oh, nice. Well, if he kills these with all his hydras in him.
Oh my god,
Very
this was
nice.
super nice for him.
That definitely helps. Only 2 hydras get out. That was a little bit lucky, but also very nicely done. And I don't know about trying to push up the ramp with storms here. Like, yeah, Shoop could get some really solid storms on those hydras coming up the ramp.
Yeah, so there's one more storm here and another one here, so 2 more storms. Oh, we see the first lurker egg morphing here.
We have a robo, but no observatory just yet. So this could be dangerous. I mean, these lurkers could get up here and start doing a little bit of damage while we're waiting for that first observer to pop out. Another hydras, a few hydras being lifted into the main here. He is really trying to press this issue a little bit, but it's close.
Yeah, and the lurkers burrowed, there's no detection yet. A first observer just now starting. But it will be fine. I mean, the lurkers, there's only one lurker is reaching this one gateway. It doesn't really matter. And I think the army of Shoop is so far still fine. But when those lurkers that are morphing here in his natural, they all burrow, then it gets very hard to get out of a space.
Yeah, if you think pushing out of a small choke on some map like Sylphid or something is difficult, try pushing down a small ramp into a bunch of lurkers. Like, this is going to be nearly impossible for Shoop to ever retake his natural here.
Oh. Trying to snipe the observer there, but was not successful. Loses all the hydras, and now this is the chance for Shoop to push out.
He realizes he's for die time. Like, he's got to break out of here before this contain gets too strong that he'll never break out.
Yeah, but the observer's too high. It was not a good move down the ramp, sadly. So now it gets super difficult. Yeah.
He had too many units behind, and I don't know what he's gonna do now. Like,
yeah.
How do you break out of this down a small ramp?
Yeah, you just don't. You just don't. There's no storm right now, and not even a single High Templar building. So he's only making goons right now, and he already has a lot of goons. Those goons will not be able to go down this ramp very quickly, so this is near impossible to break out, sadly.
Yeah, I feel like and he picks off that observer, just slowing Shoop down. Shoop's just like trying to break out here, and this is kind of like his last-ditch effort. I mean, he's running out of minerals too in his main. If he can't break out of here soon, it's gonna be lights out.
Yeah. Yeah, still no High Templar building, and yeah, I mean, you have to kill all these lurkers, so you need mostly goons for that. But then he will have a lot of hydras as well, and hydras beat goons very easily. So you need storms against the hydras, otherwise your goons can't focus on killing the lurkers, so it's very difficult. It looks like Ethan is going to do a nice another drop attempt here at the top. This time I don't see any causes nearby.
Yeah, this could just be the finishing move. There's one cannon there that's not going to be enough to stop 3 overlords worth of units here. Meanwhile, he has taken his 4th base on his side of the map, so he's looking really strong. I think he's going to take this game momentarily. Like, loses that cannon, these lurkers are just going to kill all those probes. Oh my goodness. How many probe kills is that? I can't even click the lurker.
Yeah. Too many.
11 kills.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have to say, as I said, we had this map in this matchup on Tuesday already between Favorit and Cadency, and to be honest, it ended pretty much exactly the same way. A lurker contain at the bottom of the ramp, and then the Protoss is not able to get out anymore. So I think on this map it's super important that you really get your units out, and you have to make sure to get an army out that you can combat the Zerg outside. If he can push you in your base at one time when he has lurkers, you will not get out anymore usually.
Yeah, very difficult. I've often wondered like if something like a 2-hatch lurker could be effective there, knowing Toss is probably going to take the back expo and just can get a really early contain going, but I'm not a Zerg player, so I don't know the intricacies of that, or if that's actually viable.
Okay, we'll load up the second map. Meanwhile, we had a message in the chat here by Torrent Spider. First of all, thanks for following a lot. Yeah, did the casters play BSL8? I mean, Averti already answered you. I can just confirm this. So we both played in BSL before, yes.
I didn't do so well this season, but I did a lot better last season. We're going to see the player who eliminated me this game, though. There you go. Or after this series. Next series.
Okay, so the second game is loaded up. The countdown is ticking down, and we will go into it. The map is Neo Transistor, which is a very interesting map.
Yes, it's definitely another different map where you're going to see less of the conventional strategies, or standard maybe. I mean, you can certainly kind of play that way. The way these middle bases are built, you can kind of forge fast expand up here and block it off with like gateway and forge and stuff. It's a very small little area between those two ramps. And then there's of course that expansion just past there that either player can take in their own base.
Yes, on this map it's always a bit difficult for pros in the beginning because you don't know where the Zerg is. It's a 3-player map, so the Zerg can be either on your left side, or in this case like on your top side and on your bottom side, and you can't know which ramp you have to block in the beginning. So you have to scout the Zerg and then make sure to block this one ramp where the Zerg is. But of course, when he has Zergling speed, that can change again, because he can just run around the other way and come from the other side as well.
Yes.
Oh, we have some disconnect here.
See, a little bit of lag there.
Yeah, okay, you're back. It was laggy, yeah. Okay, so what do you want to say?
Looks like we are seeing we have a pool first, 9 pool coming out of Zerg here. So he's probably very well aware of this map and looking to play aggressive. We are having that forge first from Shoop. Unfortunately, he's scouting the wrong direction, so he's not gonna see this spawning pool in time. And he actually scouted after forge instead of after pylon. So his scout's gonna be pretty late. I'm actually he's gonna have to cannon right away, but will it be in time? I don't know. Like, it looks like he's gonna commit to some links here, link speed too.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult, but at least when the probe enters the space here, he knows the Zerg is not here, so at this point he knows, okay, Zerg is on a different position and there could be links coming, so he should make sure to defend this ramp, but he's not doing it. He's going for the Nexus.
Yeah. So he's just dead here, right? Like, I can't see him defending this.
It always depends on Micro a bit. Let's see, maybe if he scouts it in time, I think the probe will enter the base in time, so
the Zerg's going the wrong way. Okay.
Yeah, okay, so the probe will see that it is a gas, it is a pool, so he knows that the Zerglings are on the way, so then he can block the ramp with some probes until this cannon is finishing. Maybe actually it will just finish, I think, because Ethan was not running the right direction immediately. I think this cannon kit could actually finish in time.
Okay, Shoop has built a gateway here, but he's not pulling probes. These lings are going to get up this ramp. That's so close. Yeah.
Yeah, no block there. You gotta block. Gotta block the ramp. And now you have 4 Zerglings in your base, and you have not a single gateway to even make units to combat that. So in this
Yeah,
point, it's so frustrating already.
Yeah, I mean, even if Shoop doesn't die here, he's going to be set so far back because he's not going to get to keep this Nexus.
Yeah.
I hope we see a cancel on that.
Yeah,
There's no
cancelled. Yeah.
Because there's no way he's going to keep that Nexus, and now he's just going to be really far behind, and he's going to dive on this cannon.
Yeah, again, no block. No block. I mean, he's just playing too risky here. If you scout the Zerg base and you can see that the gas is already up and the Zerg is not mining anymore in the gas, that means he already has mined 100 gas, so the speed is already on the way. So you know that the Zerg is putting on heavy aggression with Zerglings, so you just have to block this ramp, and yeah, he didn't do that, so that's a quick 2-0 for Ethan.
Yeah, it's do or die time for Shoop. His BSL8 run is on the line here. He's going to have to win 3 straight games if he wants to keep staying here. Not sure if he can do it. Like I said, Eason is a pretty strong player. Shoop can hold his own, but I don't know. It's not looking good for him at the moment.
That is correct. Okay, he has 1 more shot, but he needs to win 3 games in a row now to come back. Of course, every series today is a best of 5, so first to 3 wins. And it's 2-0 for Ethan. He only needs 1 more game.
He's got 3 chances. Alright, Neo Sylphid. Definitely, I would say a map that Shoop's a little more comfortable with. Like, I play with him a fair bit, and I know he's been playing this map a lot. He's been taking Sylphid lately, so I think he'll be more comfortable playing on this map. So hopefully we see a bit of longer game, or perhaps a strong win out of him this time around.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So in the bottom right here, we have our Zerg player Ethan.
All right, and the bottom left we have our green player Shoop, who needs this win if he wants to stay alive.
Yep. So the Overlord, that's the only thing we can say so far. The Overlord is scouting in the wrong direction. I never really want to say wrong direction, but I mean, it's just a luck thing at this point.
Yeah, well, I'm with you. Like, he's scouting correctly for the map, scouting towards the closest natural base to his base. But
yeah, that's true.
In this case, it's not towards the Protoss base, so the Overlord won't find it right away.
Yeah, it's not really wrong, but it's unlucky.
Yes.
But Shoop is also not scouting the correct direction, so both players without any scouting information super early. So let's see what Shoop is doing. He will probably add a forge now, and then it depends on the scouting information if he wants to go for Nexus again or if he wants to go for the fast cannon. Oh, actually even double scouting here. Scouting with the second probe, that's interesting on a 3-player map.
I think he's just like super worried because of the last game too, right? That 3-player map, he just died to those early lings. He's like, okay, I just really want to make sure there's no lings and I'm going to play extra safe. Like you can see he's sending that other probe back and he's probably just going to use that to build a cannon, or it should be a Nexus as he's now scouting this 12 hatch.
Yeah. Yeah, still making probes. Yeah, as you say, we'll probably see the Nexus first because there's no early pressure coming from the Zerg. Now getting the pool.
Yep. Wonder if you'd try and do a cannon rush. There's not really a great spot for it on this map, but yeah, we got nice pulling that drone just in case that probe decides to get sneaky and build a pylon somewhere.
Who of you still remembers Torcross or Taucross?
Yes.
That was very nice. You could just build a pylon in the choke here and yeah, just make cannons and drones could not get out to kill them.
Yeah, we actually used Taucross in a season of CPL and saw somebody do that, so that was pretty cool.
Ah, nice. Oh, here, Shoop being a bit greedy, scouting that late pool and getting the gateway even before the cannon, but I think it will be fine, because yeah, the pool was late enough, and also Ethan did not go like for 6 circlings immediately, so he's totally fine there.
Yeah, I mean, he had full scouting information. He knew that pool wasn't quite done yet, so he's like, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead, get my gate. I don't need the cannon yet. And I mean, in the pro scene, Mini is someone who's known for doing something like this, like playing extra greedy. I've seen him get, you know, Cybercore before Forge and stuff sometimes too. It's crazy. But yeah, so 2 lanes. He's just gonna try and chase that scouting pro boat. He doesn't want Shoop knowing what's up. Of course, Shoop wants to keep that alive as long as possible and scouting the Zerg to kind of see what's up, know what he's up against so he can prepare properly, so he just doesn't die. We are having that Cybercore thrown down from him now as his natural Nexus is finishing up.
Yeah, not mining gas so far. Yeah, if you don't start mining gas before you build your core, you will mostly not have 150 gas when it finishes. So the Stargate will be maybe slightly delayed, but I think it's still fine. Yeah, taking his expansion now with the mining. And of course we could also see Ethan here getting the fast third base. I mean, that's also very common, no big surprises there. But what is important is the lair here and the fact that Shoop still had this probe, so he was able to scout this lair. That's very important.
Yeah, and that lair is actually a little bit slower than you might see in normal lair. I'm not sure why, if he got his gas a little late or if he just droned extra. Because normally you would be seeing the lair starting around the same time as the Cybercore, but Shoop's Cybercore was finishing up when that lair started, so...
Yeah, the Stargate now going up as well. We'll probably see the +1 soon. And so far it's like super standard, super normal game. Will there be a second gas for the mass muters? So far we don't see that, so I guess it's just a Spire for Scourges again.
Yeah, this is looking pretty similar to what he did in game 1. He's throwing down that 4th hatchery now as well. So I imagine it's going to be pretty similar, although Sheep's going to be in a better spot. Like, he's already going to be out on the map. He doesn't have to worry about pushing down a bridge or a ramp. I did say earlier in that game that this is another map where Lurker Contains can be pretty strong on. It's not the easiest chunk to get out of. So we'll see if, you know, maybe he's going to go for something like that. We do have the Spire coming down now. But as you said, there's no second gas, so it doesn't look like this is going to be any kind of a meterless play. And we'll probably see that Hydra Den come down a little bit here.
Yeah, so far completely same game as game 1. In game 1 he added the evolution chamber and the Hydralisk Den next, so it looked like this drone was going to do that, but it actually didn't.
Alright, first Corsair flying across the map, and like we can see the Spire is only half done, or a little over half done here. So Shoop should be able to get a couple of Overlord kills here if he goes for those Overlords.
Yeah,
He's
wants to get the scouting information first, and then he goes for the Overlords. And I mean, he could see now that the Spire is not done, the Hydralisk Den here in the natural is still building as well, so he has all the time in the world to kill at least 2 Overlords here.
Yep. Second Corsair is flying out now too, so he'll kill one. Hopefully, you know, kill another one with these 2, and then he could. I mean, he could kill 3 even if he went for it, because that Spire still wasn't quite done. It's gonna be close.
Could be, yeah.
I think he can do one more.
So where are the squad? Okay, they're building the main, so he's still like 2 or 3 extra seconds. But he already turned around. He's scared, so he's satisfied with 2. Oh, there's another one in front of the natural that was not sent away, so it's actually 3 after all.
So this is already looking a lot better for Shoop, getting the 3 Overlord kills pretty quickly here. I mean, that sets Zerg back a little bit, and that just goes from what I was saying, like with that, it seemed like a later lair, and because his lair was a little bit late, Shoop was able to get those 3 Overlord kills instead of just 1 or even none.
Yeah, and we can also see Ethan here going for some Sunkens, or at least, 3 Sunkens even, and another 3 Sunkens in the third base. So he's pretty scared. I remember in game 1 he didn't have a single Sunken. He only went Mass Hydras, had a nice wall, and he was just confident to defend that with the Hydras, but in this case he's getting a lot of Sunkens, and that means you're hurting your own economy as a Zerg player.
Do you think this is just a reaction to him losing those 3 overlords? Is he just feeling like, oh, I lost these overlords, I'm not gonna have enough defense? Or because like Shoop's playing more standard, he's expecting those zealots to be hitting actually by now, but the zealots haven't even left Shoop's base yet.
Yeah, I think it's a reaction to losing those 3 overlords. He had to refill the overlords, he was a bit delayed with the Hydras production, so before you die because zealots hit you 1 minute too early, you just get those Sunkens. But of course, as I said, it means you lost like 6 drones already for nothing, basically. Just because your lair was a bit late. So you lost 3 overlords and 6 drones because of that. And that's actually a big deal, because Shoop didn't really lose anything so far.
Yeah, his speed is quite light. He is moving out with some zealots here now and speed. This attack's almost a minute and a half later than it usually come out, but we'll see. I don't think he's going to find too much damage with all these Sunkens. He's even adding a 5th Sunken at that 3rd base now. He's just going super turtley Zerg style here, it looks like.
Yeah, that's really interesting that he's so scared right now. He's getting so many Sunkens. Wow. That's 8 drones already down. And a lot of minerals, of course. Sometimes a strategy for Protoss can be, if you have like so many Corsairs with +1, as he does, you can just attack at the place where the most overlords are. Just throw your zealots away into the Hydras and make sure you can kill all the overlords with the Corsairs. Because the Hydras have to fight the zealots and can't focus on the Corsairs. That can sometimes be an option if you find a place where a lot of overlords are. But yeah, I guess he's not checking too hard for this. He's just satisfied with how the game went so far.
Definitely an option. I have actually seen Zergs target Corsairs sometimes in that case, and I've asked a few people about that. I'm like, is that legit? Like, I haven't gotten necessarily a straight answer, but I've seen, you know, those +1 Zealot, +1 Corsair attacks where the Zealots are fighting the Hydras, and having the Hydras actually target the Corsairs that are killing Overlords. So I don't know if that's always the right choice, but I've seen it done more than once, so maybe.
Yeah, I think it always depends on the zealot count. If the zealot count is not big enough that you can think, okay, I can target some Corsairs and still defend the rest of the zealot afterwards, then I guess you can do it. But if there are so many zealots that you need every Hydra to kill the zealots, then of course you can't do it.
Very
but here's
situational, I suppose.
Yes, definitely. There are a lot of Hydras now.
We do have some Templars out here. I assume Storm is done. Yes, okay. So Shoop should be okay here. He's being pushed back into his natural.
The energy was not quite done there for that one Templar, but there are a lot of storms in the natural, but so far he's not storming. There's a nice clump in front of the natural. Yes. Okay, but quick pull by Ethan.
And not taking too much damage. I think he's trying to almost bait out all of his storms here by keeping most of his Hydras back. And if he can bait out all the storms, he may have an opportunity to try and dive in here, or at least kill these buildings in the front.
Yeah. And Shoop was actually on top of his upgrades. He already has the +2 finished, so I think if he gets 1 or 2 more nice storms here on the Hydra clumps, he can really push out very soon. I think the army is big enough to do a lot of damage for the product.
He's going to pick off this gateway, but I don't think Shoop minds too much. In fact, it may even help him get a little more area to get out of his base and push out into this Hydra clump. Yeah. So, yeah, at this point of the game, it doesn't matter too much. Does get another little storm off on some of those Hydras. He is playing scared back in his base. Like, he could definitely take on or push this group of Hydras back here right now.
Yeah, I'm a bit confused why he's not pushing out. Oh, he's losing 2 Templars here for free, and I think both of them had energy here. I really think he could just move out with the full army and yeah, do some pressure on the Zerg, but instead of, he's just sitting here and losing some units and buildings.
I'm wondering if he thinks there's already lurkers out here, and we do see lurkers being morphed now, and he's waiting for his first obs. Which he does. Okay, he does have actually 2 obs sitting at the robo.
Yeah.
So he should get those up here and start pushing out, especially because he can see these lurker eggs being morphed, at least a couple of them.
Yeah, I really think Shoop can easily crush his army of the Zerg, and then he can deny the force. This is the interesting part about the PvZ. As a Protoss, you want to make sure to deny or delay the fourth base for the Zerg as much as possible. So this is the timing he needs to push out, and he's doing that. Where are the Observers? They are just sitting in the main still. Whoa! Ah, okay, there's one.
Bring the other ones out, Shoop. Alright, he's pushing out though. I mean, he's gonna clean this up pretty easily. Critically, he has a lot of banks stored up too. Imagine if that was army right now. Like, he's 40 supply ahead of the Zerg. If that was all units,
yeah, 20
he could
more
just walk
zealots,
across and
GG.
crush it. Yeah. But we'll see. I mean, his army still is pretty strong, although I don't see any Templars with this army, unfortunately.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah, he lost all those Templars earlier, and he has remade them.
yeah,
So,
again,
unfortunate.
you cannot fight the big Hydra army without storms. It's just not possible. You need to make sure to have Templars in every round of units you make. You can't like make only goons or zealots for 2 rounds and then start high Templar production again. You need to build high Templars all the time, otherwise the Hydra force will just overwhelm you. Oh, but nice job here catching those lurkers for basically free here.
Yeah, a lot of good, easy lurker kills. Well, that's good for him. But like you said, if he had 1 or 2 Templars in here, like, he would destroy that. And he spent those minerals, yeah, he could walk across and kill the Zerg's base. But
yeah,
now he's kind of getting sandwiched and blocked in here.
Oh my god, this would be such an easy fight with like 3 storms, but oh, he's losing Templars again.
I think this is it for Shoop. This is his last legs. He's losing his bulk of his army. He's got nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Yeah, it looked so good. Like he had the big army and he had the ops. He still had 2 ops in the base. I think he did not put the rally point on the robotics, so he waited for longer than he needed to wait because he thought he did not make an op so far. But he still he already had 2 ops in the base, so that's really unfortunate that he waited so long and then he just lets Ethan get a bigger army.
Yeah, like, he had a big supply lead when he pushed out there, like 30-40 supply up, but he just took a bad engage. He kind of got stuck there in that middle pseudo high ground-ish area and lost his army, and that was it.
Oh. Yeah, so we saw some like nice nice moments there by Shoop. He was, I think, ahead in this game, but in the end Ethan just was more yeah, how do you say it, more confident, more routined maybe in his play, and he was just able to win the series 3-0. So congratulations to Ethan. Okay, so
moving on to the round of 4, showing his strong play.
yes, we will take a short look at the bracket again. Again, guys, you can put !bracket in the chat and you will get the link to this bracket here. Yeah, so Ethan was able to defeat Shoop's 3-0 here, so he will be in the semi-finals against the winner of our next PvZ, White against Shad. Snipe, do you know anything about those players?
Shad, I don't know too much about. I have heard he's a very strong player. I know White is pretty strong. He's actually a player that eliminated me this season from BSL, and he has had a top 8 finish in BSL before. So definitely a strong Protoss player, but I don't know. I've heard Shad is quite strong, so we'll see. If Shad wins, like, I could see, you know, a ZVZ in the next round. That could go either way for either of those players, so that could be one way. One of them gets knocked out, we'll see. But maybe White will beat Shad and have his chance against Eason, see if he can do what Shoop couldn't.
Yeah, what I can see here in the round of 16 bracket is that White is actually displayed as a Zerg player, but he's playing Protoss here. So if we look at the games here, it looks like he's a race picker. So he's playing Protoss against Zerg and Zerg against Protoss. So that means he knows this matchup in and out from both sides, from both perspectives. And that's always a very nice thing for a player, because you just you know the reactions of your opponent better. You know what he's thinking. You know what he's doing next most of the time because yeah, you just know this matchup in and out.
That's interesting that he's listed Zerg there. Like, I know he laddered as Zerg for the ladder stage, but when he played me, it was a PvP, and we actually have Jesse in the chat saying he played her PvP as well. So I think he played Protoss in the league, but he laddered on Zerg for BSL.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, she's saying it was a mistake. He played Protoss. So.
Okay, well. Okay, so I will take a little moment to update the overlay here. Meanwhile, we can take a look at the chat, what you guys have to say. Yes, Averti, of course, in the chat, very active. Jesse as well. Blue Sense, thanks for tuning in. Very old friend, very old clanmate of me. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, Foxan, of course, always very active as well. Okay, so overlay is almost ready. Okay, there we go. So the first map will be Clay Fields. We have another PvZ in the second series of the round of 8, White against Shed. And here we are.
All right.
Yeah, in the top right corner, staying true to his name, in white color, we have DM White.
I wonder if that gives him an advantage here. And in the bottom right, we have our blue Zerg from Clan Ash, Shad.
Okay, so I have a question. Was you in TOT in the old days?
Templars of Twilight.
Oh right, I don't remember TOT Shed, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't remember him either, but I do remember TOT.
Yes, for sure.
What are you doing in ChoboLeague? I guess White is showing that this guy's really strong.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a bit scared that the Zerg player will beat him. Zerg player is kind of actually scouting the wrong direction here. He's not scouting towards the closest natural. And Protoss is going to scout him first. Well, he's not going to scout him first with that Overlord. So we'll see.
Yeah, so a little advantage here for our Protoss player. He can see this pool. It was an overpool, a very common thing to do as a Zerg player. And yeah, so he can prepare accordingly. He's getting the, oh actually gateway. I expected the forge there, but he's getting a gateway first. That's interesting.
Okay. He is scouting that he is up against Overpool here. Yeah, actually, he did scout with that probe and then he got the gateway, so maybe a missed optimization there, but either way, he is seeing exactly what Zerg is up to, so he knows what he can kind of get away with his gateway first.
Yeah, and it looks like he's just saving up for the Nexus afterwards. Will he get the Zealot first or will he wait for the Nexus? That's the question here. So if he goes for the Nexus, I think he will not put on any pressure and just use the Zealots for defense. Okay, but he is making the Zealot first and getting a Forge. So he's not being greedy, he's not getting the Nexus first. He's just playing safe and maybe has the option to put on some pressure with that Zealot.
Yeah, it did look like he was actually going to go for that Nexus first because he had the 400 minerals and the probe was sitting there.
Yes.
But, I was like, well, he might just lose if he does that, but... Because we do have 6 Zerglings now, 2 of them chasing that probe back. And this is quite a wide opening too. Like, he didn't use the pylon as part of his wall. So it's a lot of room for Zerglings to run by, and we do have 4 coming, or 5 headed towards the Protoss base. They are probably going to be able to run into the main base here. Could be dangerous here for White because he does not have a cannon yet.
Yeah, getting the Nexus instead of the cannon. The second zealot is almost out, but this does not look good. The first zealot already taking some heavy damage before the second zealot can help him. And now there are 4 Zerglings in the main base, and this is always a very hard thing to defend against for the Protoss.
Yeah, very stressful situation for Protoss to be. If you got 1 Zergling in your base, okay, you can kind of deal with that. But if there's 4 running around your base, you're just sitting there like all stressed and frustrated. And it's harder to keep on top of your macro too. Oh, and he's going to target and get that cannon.
And there are more Zerglings streaming across the map, so Shad denying that cannon and getting into the base of the Protoss looks like he's hoping for a chance to end the game very early here, and I think it looks very good for him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's working on that gateway. Okay, now he's going to go target that cannon. This group, he's keeping the Zealots distracted. I think White's in trouble here. Like, he can't get a cannon up. He's going to lose that Zealot at the natural. I don't think he's going to be able to defend this. This is looking tough. He still has 3 Zealots, but these Lings are just kind of running around. Yeah, okay, he's just going to tap out there.
GG.
Very short game.
Wow.
Bit unfortunate for him. And that's one of the risks you take, opening gate first like that, though.
Yeah, I mean, if there are Zerglings running into your main, it's always very bad, of course, but I think you still have to make sure to block the choke in the front and maybe only use 1 or 2 Zealots to chase the Zerglings in your base. But he even took all of his Zealots. All 3 Zealots were running after 4 Zerglings in the main. And at that point your choke is just open in the front. And I guess he was just hoping that Shad is not committing to more Zerglings. But he was, so he wins the game.
Yeah, he didn't even use the pylon to help build a wall, so it was just that much further open, or much more open, so much easier for the Zerglings to get in. And a quick game 1.
And now we have game 2 coming up on Gladiator. We'll see if he can maybe secure his choke a bit better on this map. I think it's a bit smaller, the choke, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Especially because it's got these kind of wedges, pie-shaped wedges or something across the map. It's a very small choke, which again can work against Protoss if there's like a lurker contain at some point. It can be hard to break out of. We'll see if we can get to that point in this game.
Yeah.
But should we introduce our players here?
Yes, so again, or not again, but in the bottom right corner we have our Zerg in gray scouting the incorrect direction again. We have Shad. And
in the bottom left, we have our magenta Protoss fighting against the Zasagi. I mean Zerg, Ashad. We have DM White.
Yeah, not on White this time, so it definitely did not give him any luck in the last game. So he switched to magenta here.
Yeah, maybe magenta's more his style. We'll see. Might help him a little bit better. It looks like he's probably... Okay, this is actually interesting. Is he going for a gate first this time or what? Last time he scouted after pylon when he went gate first. This time he's not scouting, which is normally what you would see with gate first. So if he throws down the forge, I'm going to be really confused. It's like he does it backwards. Okay, yeah, he's throwing down the forge. So he scouts with gate first and not with forge first. It's like backwards to what you normally would see, normally would do. Kind of interesting.
That's weird. The reasoning behind that, guys, is if you get a forge and the Zerg is getting Zerglings, you need to get the cannon early. So you need to get the scout information very early with the forge. But if you get the gateways, you're making zealots anyways. So it's not as important to see the exact timing of the Zerglings because you're already making a zealot. So that's a little difference here. But at least he's lucky and he's scouting the correct direction, so he can totally see the timing of the Zerglings in this case.
He does find him first, so works out right for him this game. And he's getting that cannon, so I think we're going to see him live a little bit longer this time.
Yep. Meanwhile, some rhyming in the chat. Incomplete ref. Shad is so red and White is so bright.
Nice, very nice.
Okay, first Zerglings are on the way now. Is he committing to more? Yes, he actually is committing to like a pair more. So 8 Zerglings overall. I mean, 8 Zerglings can definitely kill one cannon. Easy peasy if there's no block on the choke. So White still has to play safe here. He's getting another cannon, but this cannon will not be done in time if the Zerglings go the right direction, but they're actually not. They're going cross.
Yeah, a little unfortunate for him. If those Zerglings had arrived to this correct base, I think he might have just been dead again. Like, they could have ran in and killed that one cannon.
Yeah, it's
For
actually
sure.
it's pretty close. The second cannon is not done. He could do it. He could do it.
He might still be able to, actually, even with going the wrong direction. He
Okay,
doesn't look like he's going to commit.
He's hesitating
he
a bit.
definitely could have. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, one thing I've seen from White here is he played a bit risky in both of these games.
Yeah.
Oh, he is going to get those lings in.
Even with 2 cannons, he's still doing it. So, if he arrived like 5 seconds earlier, there would be only 1 cannon finished, and he would win the game. I'm pretty sure. But now it's still fine for him. I mean, he did commit to 8 Zerglings in the beginning, so that means his economy is a bit slowed down because those Zerglings are not drones. But he got 3 Zerglings in the main, so now you can see here he's denying mining time of the Protoss.
Yeah, he's just chasing these lings around trying to kill them. He does have a Zealot now coming out to deal with these as well. So I don't think he's going to take nearly as much damage or lose the game here. But this is definitely going to set him back a little bit. And it's just interesting to me to see him playing so kind of risky as the Protoss player here in these 2 games, knowing that he is a fairly strong player. And I mean, he's made it to round of 8 this season. He's made it to round of 8 before, so.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate for him here. He has 2 Zealots chasing the Zerglings here, but he's still losing some probes. Okay, at least saves this one. And now I think the harassment is mostly over with that 1 low HP Zergling. So let's see what else is happening in the game. So the Protoss player here got the Stargate going now, has already the core finished. On the other side we already have the lair finished and the spire going up.
Yep, and he's continuing to drone behind this. We actually see he has more drones, has probes at the moment. So despite making all those lings earlier, he's managed to get ahead in his economy here. He's got more drones than probes, which should give Zerg a favorable position here.
Yes, definitely. So again, we don't see another gas for our Zerg player, so the chance for Mutalisk is pretty low. But yeah, so far he looks pretty fine. White, I have to say, is not making workers all the time. Like, he's still below the Zerg and he's not making any workers so far. It looks like whenever he's busy with his units, with the Zealots, he's not making probes in the main, so that's a big deal here.
This is interesting. We got some Zealots heading to that 3rd base. The Lings kind of missed that. They do see it now and they're going to have to run back. I do think he has Ling speed, so it shouldn't be too long to get back there. But denying a little bit of mining time, doing a little bit of harassment. I don't think he's going to kill this hatchery, but...
No. Yeah, he will not be able to do it, but he's denying mining time at least. Sadly, he did not get a single drone here. Now he can maybe trade against the Zerglings. I guess it's fine. Not a huge deal here.
I think he only killed like 3 Zerglings for those 3 Zealots, so nice control coming out from Shad.
Yeah, the Corsair meanwhile got a single Overlord and they're actually Mutalists. The second gas is being mined right now. Oh, is the hit and run micro good or is it not? So far it's fine, yes.
Yeah. It's only 3 Mutalisks though, so it's not a huge threat. We are getting a couple of cannons in the mineral lines. 3 Mutalisks isn't too scary. He's got the 2 Corsairs out.
Yeah, but there's no cannon in the main finished so far.
Just gonna kill one of those Corsairs maybe. Nice control so far. He's just letting that cannon do its work. Okay, he does lose one of those Corsairs to the Scourge.
He needs to finish off the cannon.
Yeah. It's so close. Oh,
What?
3 health and he runs. Okay, there he goes back and kills it.
Oh
yeah,
man.
that was okay, picks off a couple of probes there. If he committed heavier to mutas and had a few more, like that would be devastating for White at the moment, but it looks like he's gonna be okay. He's gonna send those probes back now, and he has a couple more cannons finishing up.
Yeah, those cannons are just finishing in time here.
Barely in time. But he's still behind in workers. Meanwhile, we have that Hydralisk then coming down, so we're going to see that transition coming here from Shad. Probably going into, looks like, well, he's still only on 4 hatcheries, so I imagine we'll see another one thrown down soon. Maybe once he saturates this base. Okay, there's the hatchery coming down now at the 3rd base.
Yep. You should get some evolution chambers usually at this point as well. And right as I say that, he places down the evolution chamber.
Look at that. It's like we see into the future or something. Still decent number of Mutalisks here. He's got 9. I don't know how many Corsairs. There's only 2 Corsairs and 1 cannon at this natural. Oh.
And I think the big deal here is the probe production of White as well. Even before those Mutalisk kills, the probe count is still below the and not by a few. It's actually 7 worker difference, and that's a really big deal as in this game. But we can see some zealots killing the space. Wow.
Yeah,
I missed those.
I missed that. Yeah, I missed that move out too. But he does kill that hatchery, forcing those mutas to come back. I was like, why is he moving the mutas back? But I guess now we know why. He will clean up these zealots, but he did lose that base. It wasn't super critical, it wasn't super saturated yet, but it is definitely going to slow Zerg down here. Like, he's not going to be able to saturate and get that mining that base efficiently for a little while now.
Yeah, that's true, but if we look at the supply, Shed is already up almost 30 supply at this point, so yeah,
still ahead in workers.
White just can't keep up with the macro because he has no workers, or way less workers.
I mean, he's got no ground army at all. He has 1 Archon being made. That's the entirety of his ground army at the moment. I mean, if he can get a couple good hits on that Muta clump, an Archon can erase those pretty quickly. But
yeah, his gates are finishing now, so now he can finally start to build up his ground army. But Shad is already making a lot of Hydras now. The Hydralisk production machine is on. The +1 missile takes, the +1 carapaces, researching the Hydralisk speed. Range is researching, so Shad is preparing to take control of this game with the ground army, and I think he's in a good position to do so because White's production is a bit behind here.
yeah, he's definitely set himself up really well. I mean, Storm is now on the way. It's like halfway done. A couple of Templars are being made. So if there were some kind of Hydralisk attack coming here in a minute, he should have Storm ready in time. But he's just behind, you know, like he's behind in supply. His tech's been delayed just from these few Mutalisks and their constant harass.
Yeah, and the first Hydras are going across the map now. The base is rebuilt on the right side and drones are being transferred, so yeah, Shed just in a very good position here.
Yeah, Storm is finished. He doesn't quite have enough energy, but if these Hydras did decide to attack, he will have Storm ready for that. So he's okay for now. He's actually going to push out onto the map here with the Zealot Archon. He's going to get met by a bunch of Hydralisks and some mutas here.
Good damage against Mutalisk, but he just can't take on this big Hydra army. He did go for a lot of Corsairs, and he also morphed 2 Archons, so he invested a lot of resources into anti-muta units with the Corsairs and the Archons, but does not have a lot of Storms, only 2 Storms, and the Hydra numbers are just growing, so maybe he overcommitted a bit too heavily on the anti-muta units.
Yeah, I could see that. But at the same time, he was definitely feeling the heat with all those mutas coming in at his main. You know, he almost died to them. He just barely got those cannons up. White could possibly deny that base if he went for it. He's got a couple of Templars, or only one Templar. If he gets a good storm off on the Hydra Pump. Okay, a couple of Scourge flying in, no problem. Cleans those up. So what is he going to do with this army? Where is he going?
Let's see, the fight is happening, but there are lurkers.
Yeah,
and
with
no
the lurkers out, no obs.
I mean, very good storm here. Also, the Mutalist took a lot of damage against the Archons. Yeah, he can't fight this without ops. He has to turn around immediately. Otherwise, he will just get kited into the lurkers by the Hydralisk. So where is the Robotics? At least it's already done. So he's building the observatory right now, so that's nice. And if he can get those cannons up at the third base that he's doing right now, I mean, he's still in a okay position in this game, getting a third base up now, so he definitely can pull this back.
He got a nice storm. He does kill off the rest of those mutas at least. So no more muta threat for the moment. There's always the option that Shad could switch back into mutas at some point. But he does get that third base up. He's going to get that mining here momentarily. So once you get that third base, you can kind of keep fighting his Protoss. Unfortunately, there's no gas there for him. So it's going to go into more Zealots mostly. And eventually securing hopefully another base. Oh, but we have a bit of a flank coming here from Zerg. Still no obs with this army, but he does have a couple of cannons here.
Oh, nice storms here. And also those lurkers went a bit too deep, I would say. The Hydra's not in position. So all the lurkers are dying very quickly, and now the Hydras are dying to the DTs actually. No Overlords in range here. Okay, finally there's the Overlord, but this was a good fight for White.
Yeah. The supplies, he actually pulled ahead in supply after that fight. So that's getting him back into this game. I mean, if he could take another fight like that, he could definitely, you know, put some pressure back onto the Zerg and get back into control of this game.
Yeah, so what is Chad doing meanwhile? So he just started the hive here, he's getting some additional lurkers, and he's getting more Zerglings right now. So yeah, he's definitely getting units, he's getting the hive, he's at 51 drones, but he's also getting another expansion. So overall, Chad is doing a lot of things. Yeah, and White adding gateways as well, so both players are just building up very nicely here.
Yeah,
but
I would still say, you know,
yeah,
I mean, I'd still say Shad is in the better position overall, but that last fight definitely helped White kind of crawl back in, or he's not in bad as position as he was. He does need to do something to kind of slow the Zerg down at some point here, though. Stop that base from going up, or have a really good fight or trade. Looks like he's going to try and take a fourth base himself at this gas base at 6 o'clock. He's got a probe there anyway.
Yes, so as a Protoss, it's very hard to fight lurkers on a high ground here, of course. So what you're looking to do is denying Zerg expansion. So you don't need to kill Zerg expansions, you just have to deny further expansion most of the time while taking your own expansion. So in the end, you will just outlast the Zerg player if you keep denying expansions. But that is not the case. This expansion on the top right here is very far away and it's completely uncontested.
Yeah, all I was going to say is it's hard for him to get over there to deny. If he moves his whole army to kill that, he leaves his new expansion attempt here open for Zerg to just counter and kill it. And Zerg could probably even come in and kill his third base. So trading a base that's barely started for Zerg for your 2 mining bases or 2 freshest bases is not worth it. So he just wants to use this army to protect it, but at the same time, he's just allowing Zerg to keep on growing and outmassing him.
Yes, exactly. What you can do is sending some DTs or a small group of Zealots to deny a base, but no, he's not doing that. He's just running into the high ground lurkers. That's not the right decision here.
Okay, well he's backing up, getting some decent storms on these units, but his army's kind of getting surrounded here too. He can't really afford this. He's losing a lot of his army. You know, that didn't go so well for white.
Yeah, and we can see the build up of Shed is really showing here. He's already up way in supply again. His macro machine is going, there are streams of units flooding from everywhere, and it looks like he can just overwhelm white here.
Yeah. I mean, he's holding on barely, but Shad's got a bunch more units flowing in. He's making more Zerglings streaming across. He's got these Hydras. I think it's just a matter of time. He smells blood. He knows the Protoss is weak right now. And he's just going to keep pressing this issue, and eventually he's going to get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now some nice trades here for white with the Archons against the MasterReY. But if this base is going down, that's a game for white here. He will not be able to come back. Also because this expansion down here is completely isolated then, and he's not able to transfer any workers there. So this base basically doesn't exist if he loses this base. And he's doing just that right now.
I think we'll see him just tap out here momentarily. Valiant effort to try and get back into this game, but he was behind early on and couldn't really get back into it. So with these last few zealots dying and that base dying, there comes the G from white.
The G. Yes, so that means we have a score of 2-0 for our Zerg player once again.
Zergs are dominating the Protoss. It's almost like they're a strong race or something.
Blizzard, please fix the game and nerf Zerg.
Yes,
just
we
kidding,
must nerf
course.
Zerg. Too OP. Yeah, we got some people saying buff Protoss in the chat. I can agree with that.
Yep. Okay, so we have the third game between Shed and White loaded up. The map
Will we
is
see a
Crossing
Protoss
Fields.
beat a Zerg today? Will we see a Protoss beat a Zerg?
It looks very bad.
Well, here's our last chance.
There we go. Okay, on the right side we have White.
The last hope for Protoss to beat Zerg. And on the left, up 2-0, we have our own Shad. One game away from advancing to the round of 4 against Nice or Eason. And that could be a very interesting match because it's going to be ZVZ. You never know where that'll go, but he's definitely looking strong. So,
yes.
If I had to put money down or something on this, I'd say either if Shad beats White in this series, I'd say either one of those two Zerg players is probably going to win BSL. But we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen a couple of the players in the bottom. Maybe they're really strong too.
Yeah, we have some. We have two Terrans at the bottom half of the bracket. I mean, after today only one, but maybe they are not. Our Zergs here are not good in ZVT, so anything could happen here.
Very true.
And old school with the comments, and there's a Korean. Yeah,
oh, with a Korean, then All right. So looks like White is opening, kind of like how we saw Shoop open, getting that gateway first. It's kind of more expected on this map. You can definitely do, more of a forge kind of a thing here, but there is a second sort of path into your natural that can make forge fast expanding a little bit weaker. But we're not going to see that. We're going to see actually a tech build coming out of White here, getting that gas right away. So it's already deviating from Shoop's build a little bit now.
Yeah, the gas first is really interesting. There are a few options that you can do with the one base gas build on the Protoss side. What we often see is a Reaver Goon all-in, but sometimes we just see some normal build-up as well. In this case, I would assume there's a higher chance that we will not see an all-in, but the normal game, because there is this easily taken backdoor expansions. But we'll see what he's doing.
Yep. It could just be go for some fast Corsair DT for some early map control, and then use that to expand in his front base as well. But we do have the first Zealot out and a second Zealot. No core started as of yet. Okay, just as I say that, he throws down the core. So we'll have to see once that's finished which way he wants to go. Meanwhile, Zerg's taking his gas already off of 2 hatcheries, so we're seeing some kind of a 2-hatch play coming out of him, it looks like.
Yes, that is correct, and we have a lot of gas banked up for white, so let's see what he's building once that core is finishing. He will definitely have enough gas for any tech building he wants.
Okay.
But he's taking this expansion in the back as well.
Yeah, Zerg actually took a 3rd hatch as well, so this is more like a 2.5 hatch type of build. I know Shad is an older player, you know, we saw that earlier, he's from Templars of Twilight. So this could just be something he's more comfortable with, or a style maybe not as much in the meta now, but something, you know, he used to play a lot. So we'll see. I'm interested to see where he goes with this, what his plan is here. And we are seeing that Stargate like for white, so probably gonna use Corsairs and DTs at some point. Okay, there comes the Citadel.
Yeah, that looks to be the plan here with that early gas.
Hydralisk Den being thrown down as well for the Zerg. So early committal to Hydras, perhaps?
Yeah, so far we don't see a layer, so it looks like it's not an early lurker or early drop build. I think early drop builds can do a lot of damage against the Protoss as well, because the Spectre base is pretty far away from your units, especially if you take this 3rd base very early. Then you're very easily dropped, but that's not what we see here. We see just Hydras being built right now on hatch tech, so no layer still.
Yeah, and we do have that Templar Archives being thrown down now as well. So looks like, yeah, it will be some kind of Corsair DT. Imagine once he gets those DTs out and kind of starts controlling the map, we'll see him try and push down and take his 3rd base. He is going to find that first Overlord and kill it off rather than scouting what Zerg is doing with his first Corsair.
Yes, and I think he's in a good position with this build, because, I mean, he is killing this Overlord and there's no other Overlord around. So if he gets 1 or 2 Dark Templars, there's nothing the Zerg can do, but the Zerg is actually going for units early on. So in this case, white is completely denying this attempt by Shad to do any early pressure.
Yeah. 2 Corsairs are going to now fly in, see the couple of Hydralisks are done. He's going to see that the lair hasn't finished. He's not going to know how far along that lair is, but see that it is not done. Going to try and pick up a couple more Overlords if he can here.
Will he commit? No. Okay.
So he may try and circle back around for that in a little bit. Or wait for that 3rd Corsair, maybe go for it. Do have that first DT out. He's going to push down the ramp, kill that Zergling, I imagine, or maybe, okay, yeah. And probably, yeah, he does have that Forge, so I imagine we'll see a probe come down here, get a Nexus pylon for some cannons very shortly. And just as I say that, sure enough, the Nexus is going down. Meanwhile, he's continuing to scout with those stairs.
Okay, so what is white Shad doing with that lair tech now? Will he just get like Overlord speed, or will he go into the Spire as well? That's the question, yeah? Oh, first DT going into natural, but... okay, so it went through, killed 1 drone, but it's not going any further here.
Yeah, not going to be able to sneak into the main or anything. That. Oh, Corsairs are coming in to kill a bunch of these Overlords. Try to, but they're going to get pushed back. 2 of them are actually really low. One's got 6 health, the other got 12. But he is picking off a few of these Overlords.
Oh, nice job, yeah. A lot of Overlord kills. But this Dark Templar, no. Okay. Yeah, but anyways, he did do a lot of kills with those Corsairs, so that's very nice. And you can't forget he has that third base going up pretty uncontested, and that's a very early third base for a Protoss player.
Yeah. And he did supply block Zerg for a little bit too. He's still actually supply blocks. So, looks like he's gonna try and push in with another DT. I don't think that's a good idea. He's probably just gonna lose that DT. Oh, okay. Nice reaction. He does pull that out before losing it.
Yeah, very nice.
Still looking around with these Corsairs, see if he can find some stray Overlords. Not finding anything at the moment.
Yeah, meanwhile we see the Spire and the Evolution Chamber going up for Shed now. Yeah, I mean, as a Zerg player, you always want to be ahead of the Protoss player with expansions. So now that he scouted the third base of the Protoss, he knows, okay, I have to do something very soon. Otherwise, the Protoss will just grow too strong for me. So let's see what he's doing. Maybe he will go for a muta switch, but I don't see the gas for that. He did not take the gas in his both expansion, just taking the second gas now. So probably just some Scourges to defend the Corsairs.
He is moving across the map here with a group of Hydralisks. He doesn't have... Oh, he does have OV speed. He doesn't have an Overlord. So I don't know if this is the best idea, knowing DTs are out on the map. And like we can see already, this DT's starting to hit at these Hydras without any OVs, and yeah, he's just gonna turn back. But it did force actually a lot of cannons. We can see White is throwing down a bunch more cannons.
Yeah, where is the storm? Is it done already? I did not catch that.
I would assume it's done if it's not being upgraded. Yeah, I would hope it's done.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay, we have the confirmation in the chat as well. I mean, he did get the Templar Cap very early. Would be quite a surprise to not have it done by now.
Right. He is down to 2 Corsairs. He flew a few over in the main base and lost a couple of them to those Hydras earlier. So a muta switch is something that could happen at some point. And actually, I don't know, we're just on or something today. As I said that, he's actually building a few Mutalisks. It doesn't look like he's doing a heavy commit to them, but he is building a few.
Yeah, and another Corsair dying here. Are there cannons? Okay, there are 2 cannons in the main, no cannon in the third base, and 1 cannon, okay, second cannon in the back expansion as well. Yeah, okay, so it depends on how many mutas are coming, but so far it looks like he's still fine. He does not have a lot of gates, and we can see the minerals and the gas even. 1k gas in a PvZ is pretty huge. He definitely needs some more gates, and he's adding them, and he needs to spend his money better.
Yeah, he's spamming down 5 gateways now, realizing his bank's up there with 3 gates. So he's going up to 8 gateways total here. Robo coming up as well.
Yeah, meanwhile this CT here killing some drones at the bottom and just not attacking. Okay.
Just saw the last Corsair go down to a couple of Scourge in the middle of the map there. So we have no Corsairs at the moment. Chad's sending this Overlord into Protoss base, possibly to see if there's a weak spot he could come in with his Mutalisks.
Yeah, and this DT did get a lot of kills. 6 kills, 7 kills already. Okay, well, okay, now 7 kills. So if those Mutalisks are not doing any damage now, but I don't know, there are only 4 Mutalisks. I'm not seeing them do any big damage. But the Lurkers are morphing, so maybe he can set up a contain. But as I say this, White is already moving out. Is there an Overlord? Observer, god damn it.
No. Observatory is almost finished. It's just finishing up now, so we'll have observers shortly. Maybe a small window. Wait, I don't see any lurkers anywhere, so maybe not. Okay, he should be fine then. We do have a couple. Oh, there's the lurkers now coming down in. Yeah, pushing him back. So yeah, we'll get a bit of a contain here. Oh, nice storm. It's a few of those lurkers.
I mean, he's far enough out. This choke is big enough that he can push out, I think.
Yeah. Once he has that first ob out, he actually went for a shuttle first for an observer. So it's going to be a little bit longer before he can push out.
Ah, that could be close. So Zerg is on 4 bases now. The drone count is pretty nice as well. And
Yeah, their supplies are almost even.
both players supply block right now. Yeah, he needs some more units to be really able to break out. He's still over 1k minerals despite having so many gates now.
Yeah. Partially because of that supply block, I would say, but this container's getting stronger. I mean, he's adding a few more lurkers in. He's got more coming across the map. He's got overlords, mutas, a few scourge to pick off obs. Like, this is going to be a little bit difficult to break out of here if he doesn't handle this correctly. He's got to be careful pushing out for sure.
Yes, it will be very difficult. Will he lose the first ops? Oh, it looks fine actually.
Yeah, some pretty nice storms early on. Oh, mutas are diving in. Didn't really get anything done.
Okay, he still has a lot of goons, so there's definitely a chance. But he's already on 2.5k almost. Okay, now! Oh my god, from 2.5k to 700.
He heard you and just spent all his money. Alright. Pretty nice storms. This contain, I mean, he's doing a pretty good job breaking out of this so far, I gotta say. He hasn't lost a lot, but he's pushed the contain back a fair bit.
But I think pushing back is not enough here. He needs to kill it and do some counter aggression on the map. And he just does not have the units so far. Maybe now with that group of zealots coming.
Another couple of nice storms. Looks like he's gonna be able to clear this contain actually. Only just a few lurkers left. Nothing to really kill his obs, so. He is leaving like half his army behind though, unfortunately. But still managing to kill everything there. One lonely lurker. It'd be funny if he doesn't kill that lurker, just kind of leaves it there and a probe goes to expand and just gets killed by it.
Okay, so can he do some counter? Can he do some counter damage now? Or maybe he just uses his army to expand now, then it would be 4 to 4 bases, which is a good situation for the Protoss anyways. He just needs to make sure then that the Zerg does not get any more bases. But so far I think it's pretty fine.
Yeah. I was gonna say, if he can get a map split, definitely good for Protoss. He can start trading very favorably. He's gonna try and take that base, but it looks like a couple of Hydras are gonna be here to try and deny that.
Yeah. So he's turning back with the army. Probably wants to use the army to secure the 4th base, but actually no, he's turning around again. Again, there's only a single storm in that huge army. He did make the same mistake on Neo Sylphid. He had a very strong army, but he just didn't have enough storms to combat all those Hydralisks. This time it's a more lurker heavy army, but still only one storm. I don't think it's enough.
Yeah, we'll see. There's not a lot of defenses or anything at this base. There's just a few Hydras. He is moving some of his army back now. Will he be able to get in position in time? He will have almost 2 storms ready. Will it be enough? We'll see. First storm really good.
Oh, nice storm.
I don't think this is going to be enough. Gets a second good storm off. But those Dragoons are just being crushed, and with this Zerglings coming in to clean it up, yeah, he's going to lose all of his army here, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, it's 160 to 100 supply. He's way ahead in supply, but you can see, if you don't have the right units, you will still lose the fights.
The problem is most of...
Yeah.
I was just going to say, the problem is most of White's army is still back at his base. Like, look at this. He's got like 3 control groups. If that was with that army, he would probably just have won the game. Bit unfortunate.
Yeah, so it was goons against mostly Hydra Ling, and now it's mostly zealots against lurkers.
Yeah, like he's way ahead in supply. He's just got the wrong comps at the wrong time, or he didn't have his army together at the right time.
Okay, so we have 2 storms now in this army. Soon 3. But he still does not have another base. He needs to take the base now.
See that shuttle moving across the map? It's got 2 Reavers in it. Looks like it's heading for main base? Or the back base, maybe?
Oh, that's interesting. To have Reavers in that. Usually storm drops can do a bit more damage.
Oh, very quick pull here from Shad. But we'll see what this can get done. First one's a dud, second one is a dud. Quite unfortunate duds there, but maybe he can still get some drones. Okay, gets a couple. I don't know if this is doing what he wanted to do yet.
Oh,
okay, there's a nice one.
2. Yeah, but overall not the most successful take. But at least he's getting a 4th base up right now. He needs to secure that. He can't lose this to a small group of units now.
He did fly over Zerg, taking a 5th base as well, or 6th base even. So he does know about that hatchery being built at the top of the map. Ooh, just gets those Reavers out before the Scourge kill the shuttle.
And 1 Reaver is dead, the other one almost dead. But so it looks like this game is becoming a bit more passive with Zerg player taking 2 bases here. He wants to drone up a bit, maybe secure those bases. Yeah, he's getting 7 drones right now. Meanwhile, I think our Protoss player will maybe wait a bit to get his 4th base up. But right as I say that, he's moving out slightly. Maybe he can pick off this base here, but then I guess he will go back.
Yeah, but Zerg probably won't mind too much because he's already got the other base. But he's sending his drones there to start mining. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say Protoss could potentially get his army got trapped in there if Zerg could get a position if he sent it all in there. But wisely, he's just gonna send a few zealots to pick off that hatchery and leave most of his army out on the map. So the hatchery will go down. A nice little pick off for him, but Zerg, I mean, he's maxed and he's not really slowing Zerg down all that much. It's just buying time for Zerg to get maxed himself, and a max Zerg is definitely a scary thing to go up against as a Protoss player.
Yeah, you can't just make units and then sit on them. You have to accomplish something with those units. But so far, it's not really happening for White here.
Right, he did deny that 1 base, which is a start, but he's got to do more than just... Oh, heard some Overlords being loaded. We may have a drop coming in as well.
Yeah, maybe where is the Overlord? Okay, there it is.
It's at the bottom of the map, yeah. So maybe a couple Overlord drop into the main base. And his units are out of position to really defend this. I guess he does have quite a few units at his nap. Come back, clean it up. But how much will this get done until beforehand? Like, cracklings kill buildings really fast. We'll see what this does.
Yeah.
Why did he take that base himself now that he killed earlier? Alright, here's the drop.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, as you said, he has a lot of units to be able to defend that. But what is he doing with his main army? He's defending this base. He's taking this base himself. I think the Nexus is 1 hex too far down, but I think that's okay.
It feels like he's playing for the long game kind of map split situation, and that's not a bad plan. Because if it does get into a map split situation, Protoss can usually outlast by just trading more efficiently with all the Storms and Reavers. Eventually getting into like things like Dark Archons as well. If it goes that long, I'm not saying it necessarily will, but that's something we could see here, like getting 5 base versus 5 base. So we do see Zerg rallying a bunch of units towards the Protoss natural here, and there's not a lot of units in place to try and stop this.
I have to say it's a pretty good split by White here. On the left side defending his new expansion, then here on the top defending that one expansion. The only place he doesn't have units is really in the natural, and that's where Shad is hitting. So the units in the main base are coming back but this base is going down before he's able to defend this.
Couple of nice storms at least going off here. But they will lose that Nexus, and he lost all the probes there. I mean, the base was mostly mined out, but there's still a decent number of minerals and some gas there that would be helpful for white to have.
Yeah, that's really difficult. I mean, he still has a big army here, and his other bases are defended very well, but it looks like the units in the main base are being killed right now, and if the Zerg rallies more units in this main base, I think then the game is just over, because if the Protoss loses all of gates, that army that he has will be whittled down at some point, and he will not be able to replace his army.
Yeah, he doesn't really have another place he can start rebuilding those gates. I mean, maybe a couple at the top of the map here or something, but there's not a lot of room. He is cutting off some of the reinforcements here from Zerg, pushing forward himself. It looks like he will hold his main base for now.
Yeah,
so
he did it.
He's still in this game. I mean, he is 40 supply ahead of the Zerg still, and he's pushing forward, catching a few drones. We do have defilers now as well for the Zerg. A couple of dark swarms going down. Maybe he can get a plague off on the main army, which would be really good for him. Bunch of storms going down.
Oh my god.
Oh wow. He just
The
blanketed that
triple
army.
storm. Yeah. And now
Very
this
nice.
base is super undefended, so it looks like this was pretty good for white, and yeah, it looks like he is able to take this game at this moment, to be honest, because he already has 5 bases, and if he can reduce the Zerg down to 4 bases, this is a very good situation for him.
Yeah,
Okay, I mean he lost
kept
one
his main base
himself,
too.
but
Yeah, that base was almost mined out though, as we said, and
Yeah.
he is gonna kill this base. He is pretty much maxed with Zerg at about 140 supply. Zerg is trying to do a counterattack, but we do have some DTs blocking the path here. Oh, the Overlords will get through and clean those up.
yeah,
So will
this
he be
could
able
be
to hold
the
this base?
deciding part.
This is a very important base. If Protoss can hold this, he'll be in a good spot. If not, I don't know, like, he's gonna push forward and try to kill this other base of Zerg as well. This
Yeah,
game's
and
going crazy right now.
we have a little base trade here going up. And if he runs his army into mass lurkers, he can still lose it. So he needs to be very careful to not run into those lurkers here.
Oh, all the Zerg
no,
zealots are going
no.
forward, not like this. Oh, those zealots just get shredded by those lurkers. He's
Yeah.
losing the core of it.
And so quick you can turn this game around if you're not careful with your army against Zerg. Oof.
He still has a mining base up at the top of the map there for Protoss, and he still has a decent sized chunk of army here, but the supplies have evened up quite a bit, so what can he do? I mean, Zerg is about almost mined out himself, actually. He's barely mining on. He is mining from 3 bases, but they're all extremely low on minerals.
Yeah, that is true, but he killed a lot of units of white there. White still has a lot of units at the top here, even 4 Reavers now.
Okay, we're gonna have an attack at this base. There is a couple of Reavers here, 4 Reavers actually.
Yeah,
That's
this
very
is
hard to
not
push
the right.
into.
This is definitely not the right place to fight here for Shad.
Yeah, so that could be good for white now. Shad just threw away a lot of supply of army for 1 cannon and 1 dragoon, maybe. A few scarabs.
Yeah,
So very good trade there for white.
both players throwing their armies away against the 4th base, and now it's again white with a heavy advantage here. And as you said, Zerg is pretty much outmined at this point, so there's really one last army for Zerg player. So this means that yeah, if white doesn't really run his army into mass lurkers on move commands, I think white could have this game here.
Yeah, I think that was a big mistake. I mean, Zerg throwing his army at that base kind of just gave white the opportunity to win this game, I think. And we're actually going to see a Protoss beat a Zerg today? What is this? Yeah, because what does he have? He's got no
more
mining,
lurkers.
he's just got the small army. Once this goes down, yeah. Wow. That was kind of back and forth there in the last couple of minutes. I wasn't really sure which way it was going to go. But looks like, what can Zerg do?
Oh, Lurker drop at the top base, but I think the Reavers will just take care of that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the cannon
He's got
actually
no
does
obs,
not
though.
reach.
And no obs, so he's going to lose all those probes. But, I mean, Zerg is out of mining here. He's trying to take a base, and he's going to start long distance mining that base. I don't think he's going to have enough to kill what Protoss has, though.
Protoss only has 11 probes, so this is not a big probe count.
Oh, wow.
But I mean,
But
he
his
has that
supply,
base,
yeah.
he can mine, so I think, yeah, this is an
His
easy
supply
game
is just
for
so
White.
much further ahead. Yeah, he's 90 supply up. Zerg is basically just hoping that Protoss gives him enough time to try and rebuild, but nope, I don't think it's going to happen here. White is headed towards that base, and denying that base will end the game.
Yeah, and now White killing off the last base of Chad and the last hope for Chad to win this game.
Well, he's still got 2 more chances to advance.
Yes. GG.
GG. So we do have a Protoss victory, finally, hey?
Yeah.
Nice to see.
Congratulations to White, but he still needs to win 2 more games to claim the spot in the semifinals.
Yeah. Will he be able to do it? One more game to find out. Lives to fight at least one more.
Yeah, it was really back and forth. I have to say, again, overall the probe count of White was not the best, but he was able to take base after base, so that was very good. He had 5 bases at one point, so the map overall has only 10 bases. So if you can take half of the bases on the map as a Protoss player, this is already very good, because the Zerg player usually wants to have more bases because the Protoss player is trading more efficiently. So if you can secure half of the bases on the map, then you basically only need to defend and trade efficiently, and then you can win the game. And he did just that. Okay. The next game is open. I need a very short break of around 30 seconds, but then we go on with game 4 of Shad against White. So 30 seconds, don't leave, be right back. Okay, there we are again. Okay, so yeah, chat ahead still 1-2. Well, I should say 2-1.
Yes.
And now we have game 4 on Neo Sylphid. Let's go right into it.
All right.
Yeah, so that we have some more viewers on the stream. Again, the message for everyone: you can always write in the chat. We'll always read the chat and like interact a bit with the chat, read the chat, reply to anything you guys have to say. And also you can write exclamation mark bracket in the chat to get the link to the bracket to see all the next games that we still have. Okay, and now we are in the game with DM White, who is still one loss away from dropping out, but he has 2 more chances, or yeah, basically he needs to win 2 more games to advance to the semifinals. It is White.
And on the other side of the map, bottom right, we have olive or some kind of greenish color. Anyway, 1 game away from advancing to the semifinals of the round of 4. Ash Shad, our Zerg player.
Yeah, the correct color description is, or color name is, pale green in StarCraft.
Okay, pale green. There we go. Yes, there's all those new colors. I'm still not 100% used to them, but all right, I want to see what White's going to do first, because he is scouting first, but we have seen him scout first and go forge, and we've seen him not scout first and go gateway. So let's see what he does here. Scout first and forge, okay.
Oh, this
a little bit more normal.
Correct.
So he is going to scout the Zerg second, however.
Yes, so. Zerg playing very standard, just getting the overpool, as yeah, I guess it's the most common build nowadays against Protoss. So no big surprises here, everything will be fine in the beginning, no early action.
Yeah, I will say I have seen some more 12 hatches coming up lately. I think Zergs have gotten better against defending against cannon rushes. And maps like this, it's harder to cannon rush on too, since you don't have a really good spot to block with your pylon and cannons, like you do in some maps like circuit breakers or something. Ooh, nice. Sneakily gets that hatch down with that probe trying to block it.
Yeah, the probe was going right around the edge of this building placement here, and sadly was like 1 pixel too high to block this hatch.
Yep, definitely had that happen. So White's gonna get in here, see 3 eggs, being more. Gonna see those Zerglings hatch here pretty quickly, and he's already got a cannon up, so he's gonna be safe for the time being. The Zerglings are gonna chase that probe around, trying to deny him some scouting information. And a few more Zerglings hatch. White fully aware of this, and knowing some Zerglings are on the way to his base right now.
Yes. So will he commit to more Zerglings? So far he's just making an additional drone. And of course, I mean, the probe is still in the base, the probe is still full HP. Okay, well, almost full HP. And that means even if Shad decides to commit to more Zerglings, White will just see it, so he can just prepare. So in this case it really makes no sense. But now the probe is actually dead, so let's see what Shad is going to do now.
We do have a bit of a probe pull here from White, is feeling a little bit nervous or scared, not wanting to die to those things. Also, we notice this game Shad took that 3rd hatchery before his gas. Whereas last game we saw he got the gas after 2 hatch. So maybe a little bit more standard opener coming out of him this game. With that probe dead though, he does give him the opportunity to go for some kind of a ling all in. We'll have to see if he does that. He is making a couple more lings, but he's also making some drones, so we'll see if he wants to commit to something here or not.
Yeah, so far he's supply blocked sadly, so he has to wait for that overload to finish. But the 100 gas are mined. Will he get the lair now, or will he get the Zergling speed? Okay, it is Zergling speed, so I guess we will see a lot more Zerglings after this overload is finishing.
Yeah, he does have 6 out in front of the Protoss base here, and 4 back at home. So if he continues to build lings, looks like he is. If White doesn't catch wind of this or doesn't have a good block,
yeah,
like,
again, no
that's a pretty big opening again. Like, those lings could run in and kill those cannons. We've seen this a couple games.
Yeah, like he lost 2 games because of this, because he did not block his choke, and it looks like this can very easily happen here again.
Yeah,
the Zerglings are now on
produced.
the way. The speed is still not done, it takes a few more seconds. Oh, and there's a probe coming. Will that scout the the additional Zerglings? No.
Okay, very nicely. Shad is keeping him from seeing those additional Zerglings. And another probe even. Oh, but this probe is going to see those lings.
Yeah, okay, nice scouting by White, we have to say. But now he needs to close this gap. He needs to pull the probes.
He's only pulling 1 probe. He needs more. 1 is not going to be enough. Okay, he needs to pull more. The Zergling speed is done. Here come the lings. Oh no, not like this. First cannon goes down, second cannon goes down. Few
Okay.
links do get through. Two
I mean,
links.
2 cannons down, but apart from that, not a lot of damage. But the follow-up is
There's still
interesting.
more. Yep. There's still more links coming, and he's got nothing here at the natural now. No cannons done. That pylon's gonna go down. He killed the ling in his main, but he's got mining in his main. This is a lot of damage, even if he doesn't die here, which I think he might. There's still more Zerglings streaming in. Oh no, this is not looking good. If that pylon goes down, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that looks like this game is over again. Yeah, why just not blocking the choke of his natural in 3 games now, and he lost. Yeah, he lost multiple games because of this. So I really hope that he can learn from this and come back as even stronger in the next season.
Yep. No GG, just a dot dot and a GL. So nicely played by Shad though, a 3-1 victory. So we are gonna have that ZVZ. I am interested to see who wins that, because whoever wins that is my bet to win the tournament. But I don't know for sure. We'll have to see.
Okay, yeah. Again, congratulations to Shad. We will take another look at the bracket here. So here we have the bracket for you. So we saw Ethan beating Shoops 3-0, and we also saw Shad just now defeating White 3-1. So Ethan and Shad, as you mentioned, are meeting in the semifinals in a ZVZ. And now, yeah, so we definitely have a Zerg in the final, and now we will take a look at the bottom part of the bracket, where we have a TVT and a PvP coming up. And the next series we are focusing on is Zabas against Father. Do you know anything about those players, Snipe?
I don't know too much about Sabbath. I guess he's Argentinian, I believe. We did cast some of his games earlier. He looks pretty strong. He beat out some of my Terran friends already. Father is or was in IRK. He's also going to be coaching or assistant coaching one of the teams in CPL. He's played in CPL before, like 1800 Terran, I would say. So this could be a pretty good match.
Yeah, and we also have some activity in the chat here. Oh, Father himself is here in the chat. Also, Shad in the chat. So, yeah, nice that you guys are also joining here. Maybe for some additional information, some additional comments here about the games. Yeah, here Shad even saying he didn't defend links, so I had to abuse this. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely the right reaction if you have multiple games in a series against a player and you notice that he's really skimping on his choke blocking a bit. There's, of course, no better way than finishing the series with the Ling all-in if you know that he's not blocking his choke well. So, you can't complain about Zerg cheesing or so. It's just a very planned, very rational decision that is completely correct in that place. Okay. Yeah, the game is loaded. And I would say we go right into it. The map is Neo Sylphid. We have a TVT between Zabath and Father. Let's go.
Yeah, not as comfortable in TVT. Neither of us are Terran players, but I'm sure we can figure this out here. Excited to see what these two do.
Yes, I still need to fix
this
up
can definitely be a longer match. I mean, TVTs, if they get past the mid game or early mid game kind of deal, without one player having a huge advantage or anything, they can definitely go long. Start setting up siege lines that can be hard to break, especially when that +2 upgrade is done. At that point, you're like, okay, it's just a battle for territory, battle for who can secure a bigger part of the map. But we'll have to see if we get there. at any point. You know, at lower levels or at ChoboLeague level or something, a lot of these games can definitely end early. Like you can get some kind of counters or do a lot of damage with some kind of early game push. So that'll be the first thing we're kind of looking out for here.
Yes,
But,
so the overlord is fixed, and now we are in the game here.
All right.
And on the top position here, on near Silphid, we have our red Terran. It is father, I should say.
And magenta, popular color today. We have Ash Sabbath, so another Ash clan member.
Yeah, and also, never mind. Yeah, so we'll see if he can join his teammate in the semifinals. So it's still a possibility to have 2 Ash members in the finals. But first of all, he has to defeat Father here. And we have a nice best of 5 coming up. And yeah, both players are just starting very normally with that barracks. But we can already see a little difference. Father putting his barracks a bit further to the front in the natural here.
Nothing wrong with that. You can sometimes see in TVTs the Terran will just build their first barracks at 11 supply somewhere even in the middle of the get that Marine maybe for some early pressure or just to scout his opponent faster. A lot of times in TVT you'll want to scout with your barracks. Where he put it here, it makes me think he's going to do some kind of a wall for maybe some kind of a fast expand. So maybe we're going to see something like a Rax FE coming out of him. And because he hasn't taken the gas yet, I actually think that is what we're going to see. Or 15 CC. All right.
Yes.
There it is.
So, yeah, very interesting to have such different builds coming up. We have the Fast Factory against Fast CC. So let's see if Zabas can put on some pressure here to, yeah, even out this game a bit. Because if he doesn't, then of course Father will pull slightly ahead with that fast expansion.
Yep. Sabbath is going to see this expansion coming up now and be aware of what's going on. So he's going to probably do some pressure. He hasn't actually taken any SCVs on gas, so I wonder if we're going to see him throw down another factory here shortly or a starport or something.
Yeah, it could be. I think definitely should be if you have 200 gas. I mean, you could also go for the machine shop, and of course you need a lot of gas to build the first tank and research maybe siege mode, so maybe we'll have like a siege mode rush.
Okay. As we said that, he did pull all his SCVs off of gas, so I guess he is going to save up for that CC. He should still be looking to do some kind of a little bit of pressure. You don't want to let Father get away with fast CC like this for free. We are going to have a Vulture first. I don't know if he's going to be able to get anything done with that, especially with a bunker up here now as well.
Yeah, I don't think so. But maybe he will add some... maybe a starport later to drop some Vultures into the main base. But so far we see nothing of that. And what we could see was an SCV scouting the expansion here. So Father knows that his opponent is not doing like a one base all in now to punish him, but also getting that expansion, and he can play a bit more greedy maybe.
Alright, and as we kind of guessed here, there is actually a starport being started by Sabbath. So we'll have to see if he wants to go for a Wraith or if he's going to do some kind of a drop. Meanwhile, Father's going up to 3 factories. He needs to ramp up production and spend the minerals that he's going to be getting from that earlier expansion to hold off any kind of pressure that may be coming from Sabbath.
Oh, and the armory here for Zabas, so we'll see some upgrades probably, but will he get the dropship or the race here? That's an important question. So the add-on is coming up, so still could be for the cloak or for the dropship.
We'll have to see. He is upgrading Vulture speed, so I imagine that's going to be dropped so he can run around some speed Vultures in the base.
Yeah, looks to be the case here.
That'd be my guess. I'm not a TVT master by any means, but we will see.
No, you got this. This is completely correct.
Okay, we do have a dropship on the way. So we'll have to see how much he can get done with this, because Father already has 3 factory production of Vultures coming out. So I
Nice
don't know how
micro
much damage he's
here.
gonna take. Yeah.
Father, nice micro, nice moving shot micro here, killing that one vulture without taking any damage on his own vulture, so yeah, very good job here. The dropship is almost done, and the speed vultures are also done, the 4 speed vultures.
Yeah, Father's definitely gonna have more vultures than Sabbath. So Sabbath needs to get something done with this drop, or he's gonna be too far behind, I think, even.
Yeah,
And oh, Father, if he can, he's gonna probably run these vultures in, having speed just finishing up himself, and just kill a lot of SCVs. Oh, this is not looking good for Sabbath here.
yeah, I mean,
All
why
has to do to
dropping
defend the
if you
drop.
can just run into the natural?
Yeah, like if Father defends this drop without taking too much damage, I think that's pretty much it.
Yep.
Like, this is so much damage to Sabbath already, and Father, with that faster expansion, already has a way better economy.
Yeah, and it looks like Father can defend this attack pretty easily. I don't know, he's not really doing the best micro here. He's losing some vultures, so yeah, there's already the GG here.
Well, quick 1-0 for Father there. Just handled that, perfectly. Pretty much.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, it was an early expansion by Father. He did get the early advantage, and then I guess he did hit a pretty perfect timing running into that natural right when Zabeth was flying his shuttle, his dropship out. So, yeah, I mean, it was just a good build order matchup for Father here, but also a nice micro on that first initial vulture.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was fast for a TVT. We'll see. Gladiator's the next map. It can definitely be a map where you can see something aggressive. Having those low ground mains, it's easier to maybe get some kind of contain up on your opponent.
Okay, and the game is going again in red. We have Father in the top left position.
Complaining about 5-player maps, even though he's playing on a 4-player map.
Yeah.
And in the bottom left, we have our Magenta, Terran, Sabbath, sticking with the same colors we had last game.
Yeah, colors are very important. If you guys have watched one of our previous casts, it's always very important. Yeah, Quintessence is the map that they are talking about, of course. Of only 5-player map that is really widely played.
And is it even that widely played? I mean, it is played across BSL, but I think I've seen
Yeah.
it vetoed more often than played.
Yeah, that's correct. I guess it was completely the wrong way to say that.
But I know what you
only
mean.
5-player maps that it's played at all, I would say.
Yes.
At all.
Yeah. Only 5-player map we really have seen in any kind of professional or semi-professional or any kind of league. Any in recent years, anyway. I don't know. Maybe there was some back in Kespa days or something that I don't know about, but.
No. Yeah. Meanwhile, while we see this build-up phase here, I want to thank you for all the new followers: Albert Shilgin, Static Kalu, 80 Smollett, and Jackie Brood War. Thank you guys, and also thanks for the nice words in the chat by Chat, for example. Yeah.
All right. So we have little different openers compared to last. Well, okay, they're both getting guessed. I was gonna say it looks like Sabbath is now gonna maybe go for that faster expansion, getting his barracks as part of a wall in the high ground, whereas Father's just gonna build his barracks here in the main. But they're both getting a gas, so both are gonna be looking to get a factory here pretty shortly. So maybe some kind of a factory expand, or maybe we'll see the fast starport or a 2 fact out of one of these players. But neither player going for that early CC.
Yes, so far, yeah, we'll see. Looks like it's a pretty mirrored game so far. The only difference we can really see here is that Zeb is actually scouting the correct direction here, and he will get some early scouting information of Father, while Father is just yeah, taking the wrong way, and he needs some additional time until he gets some scouting information, but at least turns this round as SCV as soon as possible.
Yeah, we already have the gas. SCVs pulled off gas for both players. So this looks like a factory expand build from both of them. We'll see if someone goes for maybe the add-on first, while someone else goes for Vulture first, or what their follow-up is going to be. There's definitely a few follow-ups you can do after your expansion. You can go for something like 3 factory Vulture, you could go for 2 factory tanks and Goliaths, you can go for a starport. Plenty of options here. We won't know for a couple of minutes, but we'll see. Looks like Sabbath is sending that SCV to the natural now, as is Father, and we'll see them both throw down a command center pretty much momentarily here at the same time.
Yeah, this is really a complete mirror game. Both players are getting the machine. Okay, never mind. Actually, Father getting the machine shop, while Zabeth is going for that one Vulture. The one Vulture, yeah, it's a good way to get some control on the map, deny some SCV scouting here, just maybe pressures a bit if there's no bunker at the front.
Alright, Father does scout that. This was Vulture first out of Sabbath. And Sabbath's going to push across, see if he can maybe do a little damage or scout what Father's doing with that first Vulture. Father pulls back those Marines, not wanting to lose them to that Vulture. Kind of a heads up play there, but it does leave his SCV building the command center exposed. And he actually pulled the SCV off knowing the Vulture was coming.
Yeah, wow.
Very well aware there.
Yeah, definitely. Making sure to take no damage against this Vulture. Will there be a single SCV going down? Yes, 1 kill here. But that's fine. I mean, the bigger part here is that his command center is delayed by that Vulture for quite some time. So this Vulture already did a lot of damage, even if he only got 1 SCVs.
Yeah, he pulled that SCV off the command center to stop, the Vulture from killing it, but then he forgot to send it back.
Yeah.
It is going back now, but that definitely delayed it. Like, you can see Sabbath is already mining from that natural base, so his economy is going to be rolling a little bit quicker.
Yes, and he's on 2 factories now. Same is true for Father, of course. But I think Sabbath, yeah, just slightly ahead. Take a look at the worker count here. Sabbath is ahead 6 workers, almost 7 workers now. So this is a big deal here.
Yeah, Father's not producing out of his main CC and second CC at all because it's not done yet, but Sabbath is definitely going to have a better economy here early on, but we do have a little bit of a push across here from Father.
Yeah.
Does Sabbath really have enough to defend this? He doesn't really have anything here.
Yeah.
Where's units?
Tanks are hard to kill if you only have Vultures.
He does have mines, so if he can get a couple good mine hits off, maybe, but... Oh, the Vultures are going down. This could be a quick 2-0 for Father here. He's pulling the SCVs.
Meanwhile, Vultures are doing some damage on the other side, but again, I think it will not be enough. Father has enough units to defend this, while Zabeth does... Yeah, he does just not, because there are tanks and you can't kill tanks without any tanks of your own or an overwhelming number of Vultures, and he just does not have that here.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard for him to retake this natural. Father's going to be able to sit on top of the ramp, and okay, he's pulling all these SCVs. He knows he has to break this now or never. He's taking so much damage. With some proper micro, though, I think Father should be able to clean this up, or at least be fine, as long as he doesn't lose those tanks.
Can he surround them? He's still ahead in workers, by the way, even if he loses a few here. Nice surround on this first tank. Can he get the second? No, he cannot, and now he's losing a lot of SCVs, and yeah, it was just not enough. The first tank is out now, but the Zealot, the SCV deaths are just too big.
Mine! Oh. Wow, 2 quick games for Father.
Wow. Wow. So, who of you guys in the chat would think that the TVT is our shortest series so far?
Yeah, normally it's the longest matchup, but they're like ZVZs here.
Okay, Albert here with the reverse sweep time comment. Yeah, we'll see if Zebes can do that. He needs to win 3 games in a row now to enter the semifinals, but Father did play a very convincing series so far.
Yep.
Yeah, meanwhile, thanks a lot for subscribing, chat. Okay, the next map will be Clay Fields. The game is loaded and we are starting.
All right. Same colors again? It's like it.
Are you still here? All fine?
Yes. Hello.
Okay.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes. I thought you got cut off. But yeah, so on Clay Fields here, 4-player map. In the bottom left corner, we have our red Terran ahead 2-0 in the series. It is Father.
And in the bottom right corner, do or die time. Down 0-2. Ash Sabbath.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what do we have here?
Little
Win
bit
or
chat.
loss? I'm glad the games are going quickly. Best of 5 TVT is scary.
It's scary for casters too. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, yeah. Are we gonna see a game go over 10 minutes in a TVT? I don't know.
Zebis
Sabbath
doesn't even
admitting
want
defeat.
to win. He just wants to have it end quickly. Oh man.
Well, then they should just both 2-fact every game or something, right?
Yeah, let's see if we have some build differences here. So far, both players, of course, just getting their supply depots, and then, of course, a Rex probably very soon.
Okay. Racks in base. Looks like from both players, or maybe not. So Sabbath's Racks is going to be a little bit later. Okay, yeah, he's just going to build it in the corner. That's fine, you know, TVT. You don't really need it. I mean, build 1 or 2 Marines. He's going to build it in the corner so he can float it out quicker to scout his opponent out. And both players getting their gas, so I imagine we're going to see some kind of factory expand. Unless, again, one player wants to be aggressive and go for a fast starport, like a 2-port Wraith kind of play, or like a 2-factory kind of play. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, the interesting part in a TVT is always when we have the first 100 gas being mined, then the factory will start, and then the question, will you pull your SCVs out of gas, or will the players keep mining here? So far, we are still not quite at the 100 gas here, but we see the first scouting by Father, and he's scouting in the correct direction. Zabas is not doing the same, but maybe he could assume that Father is in the bottom left when he sees this SCV coming so early.
Yeah, we'll see if he sends his SCV cross map after the scout. So Father's going to get in, scout everything, see the SCVs pulled off gas. Both players have done that, so again, it looks like we're just going to see some kind of factory expand build from both players.
Yeah. Oh, actually, the SCV left the base now, and Sabas is putting his SCVs back into gas, so
Ooh.
he wants to do some aggression, and this will be fun.
He's sending 2 SCVs out on the map too. 2 more SCVs, I should say.
Oh, looks like a proxy. Oh, but will Father scout that? No, that SCV did not scout the 2 SCVs leaving, so... Oh, this is a proxy build.
Yeah, he's gonna build 2 factories or 2 starports or something in the middle of the map, or what? Let's see.
I would
Let's
say factories.
No,
Okay, never
starport.
mind. Damn, I'm a bad Terran player.
This way you don't play Terran.
Yeah.
Alright. 2-port Wraith on 1 base, proxied 2-port Wraith. Will Father sniff this out in time? He has an SCV. Oh no, look at this. SCV's gonna get into the main and see nothing here.
Yeah.
No factory. So he should know there's a proxy on the map now.
Yes. I mean, he's a good player from what we've seen so far, so he definitely knows something is up, and I would assume that he will scout everywhere now and make sure nothing is hitting him completely unexpected.
Yeah, he doesn't know what it could be. Like, it could be proxy 1 fact, proxy 1 starport for a drop or something. He still doesn't know what he's facing. He just knows that something's not right. So we're probably gonna see him play extra safe here. He's just gonna get a couple of tanks. He doesn't have anything to deal with wraiths as of yet, however. 2 Marines
Yeah.
isn't gonna quite cut it.
This could end pretty shortly with Sabas taking the win because Father has no anti-air. There's still no armory going up, no eBay, so really nothing.
I do see him scouting for it.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe he'll scout the middle next. But I think it will already be too late because this race is already in his base now. And there's no anti-air. Even the Rex is not even in his base, so there's really no hope to get any anti-air.
Yeah, I mean the armory's not even half done. Wraith is already hitting these SCVs. Second Wraith. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, he's got to get something up. These Wraiths are just going to compound. There's a chance Father thinks it's still 1 starport. Oh no, with the 2 Wraiths here, he probably knows it's 2 starports, never mind. Yeah, what can he do? He's trying desperately to finish that armory, but these Wraiths keep picking off the SCV building it.
Yeah, the only chance is his base trade, so he's attacking Sabas' main base right now, so this is the only chance. And I mean, there's 1 tank finishing for Sabas, and I think with the SCVs and that 1 tank he could very well get that, but the tank is already dead. Oh, very...
He does corner one of
nice
those tanks
micro.
though. Picks off one of those tanks.
Oh.
He should be able to get the other one there. That's going to really hurt his DPS. While they're still rallying vultures across. These Wraiths are racking up the kills here now though.
Sadly no real micro on the tanks here, but the vultures
11
are
kills
still
on
there.
the Wraiths. Yep.
Oh,
looks
look
like
at
he's
the
gonna
worker
kill him
count.
off.
The worker count is pretty even so far. The armory did not finish, so there's still no hope for Father. And yeah, the next tank spawned for Zabas, it's getting repaired, so yeah, this is basically everything that Father could do, and yeah, he's not able to defend the race and he's not able to kill Zabas in his base, so this should be the game here.
So it looks like we're gonna have another game that's under 10 minutes probably. Well, that armory is finally gonna complete here, it looks like. Maybe if we can get a couple Goliaths out. But there's just so many Wraiths here already, I can't see it. 2 Goliaths are being made.
Yeah, he needs at least like, I don't know, 4 Goliaths or so. And then he can barely defend the race, and then the 2 tanks will show up.
Does he have Cloak? He does have an add-on, so he might have Cloak when the Goliaths are finished too. SCVs are still similar. Okay, Father just lost a couple more. I think once he sees Cloak, it's... Okay. Let's see, does he have Cloak? We'll see, he'll see.
Does not
Maybe
look
not.
like it.
He hasn't cloaked them yet. I mean, he had that control tower for a while. Maybe he just didn't get Cloak.
Yeah.
Still not upgrading.
I mean, he has 7 SCVs now and now 6 only.
He lost a lot of Wraiths to those Goliaths though.
Yeah, he's sacrificing the race to get some additional kills here.
I think it's fine though.
Yeah, I mean, he's almost
so
tripling
low,
the
right?
SCV count, and yeah, I just don't see Father coming back here.
He is staying and fighting in this game. I guess he knows he got some SCVs, kills himself, and knows Sabbath is still on 1 base, so if he can defend, he's going to have greater SCV production. But with so few SCVs, can he really catch up?
Yeah, and now the cloak is starting to research, so maybe Sabas wants to remake some race, so that could surprise Father, because I mean, he sacrificed the race, so Father could think, okay, he's done with the race, but he's actually getting another round of race now, and also getting cloak. So if Father does not have any detection or any like eBay or comset, yeah, I mean, he will lose so many SCVs again.
Well, will we make this game to 10 minutes? We're at 9. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe.
I think we will. I mean, I think he's also staying in the game because he has that second command center, so he can remake the SCV faster. And we can already see the SCV count here. He caught up quite well already, but yeah, as I said, when the cloak is finishing and the rays are coming in, he will just be put back again in this game.
Yeah, because he's got no detection whatsoever, no scans, no academy started, no eBay. So cloak, he's gonna fly in. And will we see a cloak? There's the cloak, and there's the GG. So we did make 10 minutes.
No 10 minutes.
9:48. TVT series without a 10-minute game. Well, yeah, I guess there's still chance. Because Sabbath did win that game, so he still stays alive. This is at least a game 4 here.
Yes, it is game 4. Father still ahead 2-1, and we are starting the next game.
I had to refresh the stream. It was frozen for me. So.
Okay.
Oh, we are getting our 5-player map here, though.
Yeah, the 5-player map that they don't like, probably.
But I mean, it is a big map in that sense, so maybe this is a map we can see a TVT that goes 10 minutes or more.
Maybe. Okay, so same colors again. In the top left we have Ash Sabbath, who needs to win 2 more games to advance to the semifinals here.
And in the bottom right, middle-ish area, we have Father up 2-1, just 1 game away from the semifinals. Red Terror.
What is this SCV doing out of his base before the
proxy 8
depot
racks?
Okay, they really don't want to play 10-minute games, guys.
I guess his thought here is, okay, this is a big map, so his opponent is more likely to go maybe something like command center first, and if it is command center first, he'll just like kill him with this. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's completely correct, because it's
BBS.
because it's a 5-player map. The chances that you are scouting your opponent early are a bit lower, so that enables you to get lucky with this extremely greedy strategies or extremely cheesy strategies. So both extremes are boosted here because the scouting chance is a bit lower. So yeah, those games can end pretty well if one player decides to go greedy and the other player decides to go cheesy.
Yeah, well, we aren't seeing a command center first at the Sabbath. We do see a barracks coming down, but the question is, will he catch wind of this before it's too late? Like, I mean, he hasn't scouted yet, and I mean, we haven't seen them scouting that early in their TVT so far. Father's gonna find his position a lot sooner, and he's gonna have a few Marines built up before this barracks even finishes. So this could be dangerous.
Yeah, and now Zabas is going for the command center.
Oh no!
I mean,
yeah,
we know how that ends.
Yep. If he could catch wind of this somehow, he could like cancel that CC, bunker at the top of his ramp or something. But I mean, he's gonna see these Marines soon.
Yeah, he's playing greedy without scouting. Yep. This is unfortunate, but you pay if you play too greedy, and he's definitely paying now. Oh, this first Marine! Oh no, not being microed at all. So I think this is every hope lost here for Zabas.
Yeah, he got that caught up. He's pulled a lot of SCVs trying to defend this, trying to drill. Does get one of those Marines, but I mean this is 4 Marines against 1 here. It's gonna be tough. Father loses all of his SCVs, but I don't think it's gonna matter. There's just too many Marines here already.
Actually, I mean, Father's SCV count is pretty low. He's not making any SCVs. So if these SCVs are defending the Marines at all, he still has a chance.
And actually, he did kill all those Marines, so this is still close. I mean, if he could stabilize, if he could kill all these Marines off and come out of this with more SCVs and the CC started, then it would be good for Sabbath. Well, let's see.
I think the initial micro by Father was not the best. Now he's trying to micro a bit harder.
We got no mining for Sabbath whatsoever.
Oh my god. Yeah, there are still groups of 2 Marines coming for Father all the time. Yeah, but there's... okay, now he finally cancelled the command center to be able to build some more Marines. But was it too late? Maybe he was... yeah, maybe if he cancelled it sooner, he could make non-stop Marines and additional SCVs without mining. But in this situation, he was not able to do that.
I mean, Father still hasn't made any SCVs, so if he could defend, could still maybe. But I don't think. I mean, I don't think he's going to be able to defend with this constant two Marine production here. He's already lost a lot of SCVs.
Whew, man. Yeah, if he cancelled the CC earlier, it would be way easier. And it's still close at this point.
Every SCV that goes down is just hurting him more. Like, look, it's 6 SCVs versus 5 SCVs.
And I mean, he's able to build Marines constantly, and also he's building SCVs constantly. So I think there's still a chance if he actually uses some SCVs to fight with the Marines. He's always sending all of the SCVs back to mining, and I think this is a bit too risky. He needs to have, like, always 2 SCVs at the front here.
Yeah, this is just so close. It's gonna end one way or another. Either way, just depending on who can get a better trade here. Well, he's slowly pushing these Marines back.
As I said, if he keeps the SCVs here at the ramp and not sends them back, I think he got it. Yeah.
Wow.
If you can just hold the high ground, it's so much easier than if you need to defend the Marines in your main base.
This is so close.
Oh.
Okay, he's gonna tap out.
Wow.
Wow, that was so close.
Man,
Well,
how many SCVs were there? I
think it was like 6 or 5 or something. Like, they were both really low.
Yeah, I mean, it was... At this point, Zabas was still ahead in SCVs. When he GG'd, he was ahead in SCVs. Yeah, I think he was hoping a bit too much there by not cancelling that CC and still trying to defend with SCVs. If he just cancelled it, I think he could have continuously making SCVs and Marines all the time. And
yeah, I think he would have held.
I think so, yeah. But anyways, congratulations to Father winning this series 3-1 here.
Moving on to the Final Four. We got a chat or a comment from Father. We agreed to keep the series quick for the caster's sake. We appreciate
a lot,
it. No. A best of 5 TVT with no games going over 10 minutes. So there you go. It was like a ZVZ series.
Yeah. Okay, so that was that. We take another short look at the bracket here.
Yeah, we have 3 players in the semifinals or in the round of 4 now. So we got one more coming up.
Yeah. Ethan against Shad in the upper half of the semifinals in a ZVZ. And now we had Father advancing to the semifinals as well in the bottom half, and now his opponent will be decided in this best of 5 between Avocado and Sinclair.
Yeah, I don't know too much about Avocado. Zinkler's played in CPL before. He's playing in CPL again this season. We'll see how this goes. I mean, PvP, I guess I've heard people say Avocado's pretty strong, so maybe he's a little bit favored here, but it's PvP, where in PvPs, like anything can kind of go, you know? It's just like you can get build order wins and losses. It's very, I don't know, tricky like that. So, I mean, if a couple build orders go Zinkler's way or something, if he's, you know, not favored, maybe he can pull out some wins and take this down. So, I could see this going either way.
Yeah, I think so. I know Sinclair is someone who also plays a lot of games and really tries to improve and like tries to look at his own replays and yeah, just trying to improve his game by really analyzing what he's doing and watching some other build orders and so on. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to see what he can bring to the table here.
Yeah, I mean, PvP is so many different builds you can open with. Sometimes you can get your opponent off, get a strong build order advantage. So I'm excited to see what we got planned here. This is Heartbreak Ridge, which is a little bit more open map. You know, no ramps here, which can change the kind of strategies that you may want to open with. So we'll see.
Okay, so the game has started and we are jumping into it. Avocado against Sinclair. So on Heartbreak Ridge here on the left side we have in green Sinclair.
And on the right we have our red Protoss BSL8 Avocado. One of these two players will be the one to advance to the round of 4. Who will it be?
Yes. Okay, so in PvP we have also a bit more knowledge, so we can talk about
Both Protoss
any
themselves.
detailed possibilities on the build orders and so on.
Yep.
But nobody trying to cheese here. I know that on Heartbreak Ridge you can just go across the map with one of the initial 4 probes or with the first probe that spawns from the Nexus, and you can actually go into the main base without your opponent seeing it and hide some gateways here in the main base of your opponent. But yeah, they're not risking it in the first game here.
Yeah, definitely a possibility on 2-player maps, especially something like this where you can kind of sneak into the main. But both players are opening up with that gateway first. Imagine we'll see a gas at least from one of our players, unless they're both planning on going 2-gate here. We do have a gas coming out from Sinclair. No gas taken yet from Avocado, so we might actually be seeing a 10-12 gate coming out. Okay, just a little bit later gas.
Yep.
So pretty standard from both players here. Maybe wanting to feel each other out, you know, first game of the series, kind of see where we're at here. See what both their opponent wants to play or what kind of style they play, and just play it safe. And I mean, they're both going to scout their opponent right away and see nothing fishy's going on. No 2-gate zealot pressure or anything like that.
Yes, so the cybernetic score is coming up for both players, and we'll probably also see a zealot, which is a very common thing to do here, to be able to just chase the scouting probe away, maybe kill a mana pylon if it comes up. We see this mana pylon here placed down by Avocado. So in case anyone is wondering what this is doing, why you would build a pylon in the opponent's mineral line, this pylon definitely, blocks these 2 mineral patches from being mined. You can see all the probes have to go a long way to reach those 2 mines, and because probes are always trying to get to the other minerals, they are doing this long way. So this pylon is doing some mining damage, definitely. So they are slowing the mining a bit. So this zealot is here to kill this pylon off very soon.
Yeah, and we can see how that came into effect already. Zinkler wasn't able to start goon range yet. He actually still hasn't started that, so maybe we're going to see some faster tech coming out of him. Okay, it's just started now. Whereas Avocado's goon range is already like a fifth of the way done or so.
Yeah.
So
The
a little bit of an
problem here,
advantage from that.
if you go for that mana pylon, you have to make sure to build your own pylon in time when your mana pylon is dying, and he did not really do that, so he was supply blocked for quite some time here. So the second goon is actually a bit delayed, and he's also done 2 probes now. So overall, I think because he did not make the additional pylon, this mana pylon hurt him more than it hurt Sinclair here.
Yep. But we do see a robo coming out from Avocado. We're going to see either some kind of like a 2-gate robo or just 1-gate robo into expand type build coming from him. And we can see he's already starting to place pylons around the outside or perimeter of his base. Very good thing to do in PvP. This gives you want like vision all around your base. This gives you the advanced warning of any shuttles flying in. Just giving you more time to react when it gets a little bit later and Reaver drops start becoming a factor or Templar drops. So.
Yes, that's definitely a good way to place your pylons after the initial 2 or so. Yeah, and now, as you already mentioned, both players have a robotics, and I mean, this is a build that I usually use on ladder as well, so it's a very safe build because you can get your observer out very early against any like Dark Templars, and you can also get out your Reaver very early to take that expansion once the Reaver is done to defend against like any early 2-gate or 3-gate Goonolins or so. So this bait is very safe here.
We'll see. Okay, I was gonna say we'll see if either player goes for that second gateway before expand, or if they want to expand before the second gateway. It looks like both players are gonna do the gateway. This is kind of what you would call your bread and butter or standard PvP build. Of course, if you do this build every time, people can try and hard counter it. That's just how PvP works, unfortunately. But this is considered probably the safest PvP opening. You're not really going to die to anything. You can get disadvantaged against some things, but you're always going to be able to live again in the early game and be able to fight against what you're facing.
Yep. Yeah, and both players did get the Observer first, and now both players will get their Reaver. So we have like a completely mirrored build. Sinclair just supply blocked here for a bit, but we'll start this Reaver afterwards as well. And with both players doing the same strategy here, I don't really see anyone taking too much damage early on. But there's a little difference here. So Sinclair did place down his pylon, while Avocado did make goons continuously and also got a bit earlier Reaver. So Sinclair skipped 1 round of units here to get that earlier Nexus. So now he has to be a bit careful, of course, because his opponent will have a bit more units, especially when the Reaver comes into the fight.
Yeah, it comes down to some control here. So far, pretty good control from both players. Say that exchange went slightly better for Zinkler. He got that Zealot while not losing anything of his own here.
He got some additional damage on 2 goons. Yeah, but overall, I guess...
yeah, one of those goons is almost dead for Avocado as well. But he did let Avocado kill off that pylon for free.
Yeah.
Okay, Zinkler not targeting the right goons there.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good thing of Avocado. He identified that there were 2 goons a bit low on yellow HP, so he went in and sniped those out. So that was very good. Oh, and now the Reaver
in here. Oh, need another Reaver shot to go off. Okay, that was close, but it looks like Zinkler is going to hold on to this for now. But we actually have that Reaver crawling across the map. Look at this. It's going to crawl all the way to Zinkler's base.
Oh, that's interesting. And yeah, I mean, Sinclair did hold here, but losing that Reaver is a big deal, because when the Reaver of your opponent arrives, you have a Reaverless army against a Reaver full army. So this is hard to defend if you don't have the Reaver. The second one is spawning soon, but if Avocado hits the right timing, it could be very close here.
Yeah, if Zinkler does defend, however, he already has his Nexus and is mining from it. So if he can defend this, he's going to be in a pretty good position.
Yes.
Pretty nice Reaver shot so far. He's gonna try and dive on that Reaver. Will he get it? Will he get it? Yeah, he does pick it off.
Yeah, and with that, with the second Reaver finish for him now, I think he can hold this base, and that means he will be pretty well ahead here in this game.
Yep. Another Reaver, so he's not going to die. His Nexus is way ahead. Avocado's Nexus is done now, but he hasn't started mining it yet. The probe transfer is just coming in now.
Oh, four gates.
4 gates already.
Wow.
Wow, yeah. And Zinkler's well aware of this. I mean, he's got the ob, he sees that. So he's going to add a third and possibly a fourth gateway here himself to match the gateway count. Knowing that he's up in bases, and as long as he can match the production of his opponent, he should be able to get further ahead.
Yeah. Yes, so there's really no way for Avocado to contest the space. So whenever he's trying to do anything here, he's just losing a goon. But we have to look at the probe count. So Sinclair's Nexus was up a lot earlier, but he's only had 2 probes. So the difference is not as big because Avocado was really on top of his probe production in this main base. So I think this is still a almost even game here. Sinclair only slightly ahead here.
Yeah, that's a good point. Had Zinkler had a larger probe advantage, maybe. He hasn't taken his second gas yet. Neither player has, so we'll have to see when the players want to take that. Looks like Avocado's actually going to send a probe to maybe take a third base somewhere.
Yeah, both players now on 4 gates. The supply is pretty even. Sinclair still ahead 2 drones. And now we have to look at what the next steps are here. We can see the Forge and the Citadel coming up for Sinclair, and the same should be true for Avocado very soon here. So far he's still not doing it, but he already has the probe in in position to build those buildings.
Yeah. Another gateway coming up there. What do we have? Citadel being started for Avocado.
Okay, yeah. The shuttle is leaving for Avocado with 1 Reaver, but the observer saw it. So very nice like attention here by Sinclair. So he will be able to send some goons, as you can see here, to the back of the base to intercept the shuttle. And he still has way more than he needs in the natural here with the 2 Reavers. So there's no way he can take damage at the front, and he's also safe in the back. If he moves the goons a bit more to the left.
Oh no. Reaver's coming in. Gets a couple of probes, not much. I don't know if you saw Avocado dived in, got the shuttle 2 of Zinkler's up the front of the base. He did lose a few goons for that though.
Okay. Yeah, 2 probes and the shuttle for, it looks like 2 goons. So yeah, okay. Was a fine trade, but Sinclair overall is pretty safe. But we can take another look at the worker count, because I have to mention it over and over. The worker count in a PvP is really important, and we can see Avocado ahead 5 workers now, and also having the 3rd base building now. So the longer this game goes, I think Avocado will pull ahead a bit maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if Zinkler could kill off all of these Dragoons here with a couple of good Reaver shots. Oh, you don't want to be losing that Reaver though. That's that Reaver didn't even get a shot off, so that's unfortunate for him. We'll see how this engage goes. They both have 1 Reaver.
Oh, nice micro here, nice pick off.
Looks like Zinkler is probably gonna take this fight. He did lose his Reaver though. Alright, both Reavers down.
Yeah, it's a pretty even fight. In the end, Sinclair comes out ahead, but all the Reavers are dead, and also I think Avocado has enough units. He has another Reaver in the natural, so it's not like Sinclair can just go across the map and kill Avocado here. Avocado is still completely fine, and he has that 3rd base. So this is of course very open and undefended. So maybe if Sinclair can scout the 3rd base, he can deny it, but I don't see it happening, to be honest.
It looks like he might be taking his 3rd base soon himself. At least he mined out that mineral and has a probe kind of in that area. But I mean, Avocado's already mining excuse me, from that third base. So if he's able to hold that, and Zinkler's not able to really punish that, he's going to be able to, like he's adding those gateways now, he's going to be able to get a bunch more units out and pass Zinkler in supply here shortly. Like his probe count is actually 11 ahead now.
Yeah, Avocado basically needs to hold this attack, and then he's, I think, in a very good position. Zinkler has a zealot speed, which is pretty strong. And he has the high ground. Very bad attempt here by Avocado. He needs to go back a bit. He can't lose the Reaver.
He is killing some of those zealots. He needs another Reaver shot to go off. Okay.
I
don't know. Is he going to have enough to defend? This might be like the perfect timing from Zinkler to get in here and defeat him.
Yeah, I
there
think
are reinforcements coming, but it's going to be close. If this natural base goes down, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, he has a lot of gates now, 7 gates, so he has a lot of reinforcements coming, but it's just not enough because there are just too many units for Zinkler. And I think this move out of Avocado's army was just a big mistake here. He should have stayed in the natural.
Oh yeah, with the zealot reinforcement, I think. Yeah, GG. All right, well played by Zinkler, taking the game now.
Yeah, I mean he lost the fight in the front of Zinkler's natural, so he was a bit lower on units, but then he still tried to come out and fight even up the high ground. So that's really unfortunate. He was well ahead in the worker count, so the only thing he had to do is defend for a bit, but yeah, it was sadly the incorrect decision here, and he loses the game for it.
Yeah, very interesting actually how that turned out. People, like I heard Avocado was quite strong. I thought he was maybe favored, but that game was a game where they were both opening pretty much mirrored builds, and Zinkler was able to take that down. So I think this one could go the distance. Like we could see even 5 games here. This is a good series, I think.
Yes.
Some people in the chat agree with me, it looks like. This could be a nail biter.
Yeah. Also, we had one question here by Albert Shulgin. You guys have any input on that question? If so, maybe 1 gate Reaver skipping ops countered. So the question is, what's this counter to this build? I think, right? Yeah, I think that's the question here. To the robotics into 2nd gate build, because we said this is really the bread and butter. It's really safe against everything. You can get that expansion. From my experience, what really is very good against this build is basically doing the robotics early as well, and then expanding and not getting the 2nd gate, because you basically have the Reaver as well. You have only slightly less goons, but if you stay in your natural, you can easily defend the army of your opponent as well, because you just have the natural choke with your Reavers and you only have slightly less goons. But then you have a much earlier expansion, so then in the end you will pull ahead if you just go for that 1 gateway robotics into Reaver into natural.
Yeah, I definitely would agree with that. Gate Robo expand. I've been playing that sometimes on ladder as well, because this isn't a popular opening, you know, Gate Robo Gate, and it's worked well. Like you said, you basically, if they're going to attack, you just have to defend, and if they don't attack, your expansion's so much quicker that you should just be able to get ahead that way. So, of course, you still have to be careful. I mean, that the player that did Gate Robo Gate could throw down a 3rd gateway and mass up and try and bust you, or they could just go for some kind of like Reaver harasses or something. Like it's still playable from the Gate Robo Gate perspective. You're just going to be playing for a little bit behind, and that's kind of the thing in PvP why some people say it's rock paper scissory, right? Like you could do the safest build and still get put behind, just depending on what your opponent did. Another actual build that I find is tough to play against doing that is something like Nexus 3 Gate, because they're going to get their Nexus up and have a bunch of Dragoons early on, and you can't really punish that. But you're also going to have a slower Nexus. Of course, the thing with Nexus 3 Gate is it'll die to quick DTs. So,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyways, getting into this game. Sorry.
Yes. So in the top left here we have Sinclair.
And in the bottom left, BSL8 Avocado.
Yeah, okay, so let's see if they choose to do mirrored openings again. The map is Clay Fields, I think, right? Yes, Clay Fields, okay. So in Clay Fields you have this weird high ground in front of your natural, so I've seen some PvPs where if you secure this high ground as the attacking player, you can actually contain. Like for example, if Avocado secures this top high ground, you can contain Sinclair. But also this, of course, could help you defending an army. So this is always a focus point on this map. But it could also happen that it plays no role in a game, but it can play a big role, because high ground against low ground is a big difference, because in PvP you have mostly goons against goons early on, so those are all ranged units, so the high ground advantage is pretty big in those fights.
Yeah, so maybe something like a 3-gate goon or 3-gate goon with obs on this map might be something strong to secure a goon advantage early. Because then you can kind of maybe contain them into their main when they push out. That's fine. You still contain them on that high ground area. So maybe a viable strategy here. Or some kind of early 2-gate goon pressure even. But we'll have to see how our players want to play this. Looking pretty standard so far. Goon range started for Avocado, not yet for Zinkler.
Yeah, Sinclair already always a bit behind on the goon range, same as last game, but yeah, I don't know.
Last
I
game,
think.
well, last game was the
Man
Manor Paladin, I think, but this game it was the Manor Paladin. So.
Never mind. Avocado just did range before goon, and Sinclair did goon before range. So
okay,
I mean,
there we go.
If you go to the range first, so let's go into a bit detail of this. If you go to range first, you usually have it before your opponent, or at the same time, of course, if he does the same. So what you can try to do is you attack your opponent right when your range is finishing. So then you can maybe get a few shots before your opponent has range, so you can win an early fight and snowball from there and win the game very early on. But on maps with ramps, it's a very rare thing. But it works on maps like Gladiator, for example, or Neo Sylphid. It can work very well.
And excuse me, feel like that's something I see Koreans do more. Like watching pro streams and stuff, I see them go for a range before goon a lot, especially like even in PvT, right? Because they're more confident in their micro and stuff against any kind of an FD or whatever. They just want that range sooner. If it's like a Rax FE, to start hitting that bunker sooner and stuff too. Whereas I usually go for the goon first because I want those extra units earlier. So,
yeah, I usually like the goon first as well to kill the scout probe. But if you have your ramp secured with the zealot before the probe can actually enter your base, then it's very nice to have the range first. Yeah, but anyways, so both players did open with robotics after the gateway, but we can see Avocado adding 3 or 2 additional gateways. So this is a pretty all-in build by Avocado. This is a Reaver with 3 gateways. So this is Reaver with a lot of goons. If you go for that 1 gateway, then it can be very difficult. But we can see Sinclair adding the 2nd gateway as well. So if he positions his Reaver very carefully and does not let it get sniped early on, I think he's in a fine position.
Yeah, and this is actually kind of what I was saying earlier. We might see some player go for 3-gate here just because of what you were talking about with the option to contain on this map. And we can kind of see Avocado doing that, but he's taking that one step further and getting Reavers with this. So this is a solid, 1-base build. I wonder if he's going to crawl this Reaver across. Like he did that last game too, right? He crawled the Reaver across.
Yeah.
And he's building a Reaver before a shuttle anything, so he might just try and do that 3-gate goon with a crawling Reaver.
Yeah, could be, could be. I mean, if you have 3 gates, so if you have a lot of gates and probably more than your opponent, you have the units to make sure that the Reaver is not getting sniped off. So you can actually crawl it across the map. It's definitely possible.
Yeah. He is pushing Zinkler back here, while Zinkler's taking the. If he catches wind of this, like, there is always the option to cancel his Nexus and hold at the top of the ramp against like a 3 gate. But it looks like Avocado's actually going to expand himself here. This is, like, I don't know how he's affording all this. It's just his build seems off. Like, he can't put any Dragoons right now, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So he got 2 additional gateways. He got a lot of gateways, but then doesn't use them and makes a Nexus. So that's like not a very optimized build.
Yeah, it's just it's like he's trying to do 2 different builds at the same time almost.
Yeah.
It's interesting. We'll see how this works out for him. I mean, he did scout with that early ob, and maybe based on what he scouted, he's like, okay, I'm not gonna be able to execute my strategy effectively enough, so I might as well cut goons for a Nexus. I'm guessing that's what his thought pattern or process was here, but it's just unoptimized, so his Nexus is going to be delayed, and he's not really getting ahead by having the extra gateway early.
Yeah,
so I'd say Zinkler's in a good position now.
Yeah, exactly. And if we look at the numbers here, we can see that Zinkler is ahead 5 probes, has the slightly earlier Nexus. So you might think, okay, what is Avocado ahead in then? So for Zinkler we have 9 goons or 10 goons now, and the Reaver and the shuttle. And for Avocado we have 9 goons and a Reaver and no shuttle, for example. Okay, second Reaver now. But they pretty much have the same units, despite Avocado adding 2 additional gates very early, and Zinkler has more probes. So overall, definitely a little build advantage for Zinkler here.
Yeah, and that's kind of how we see that his build just kind of didn't make sense, right? It's the fact that Zinkler his build's more efficient. He has more or the same stuff without spending all that extra money, and faster expansion and everything. He's just ahead in most ways without any kind of real engagement happening. So
yes,
I mean, that does not mean it's necessarily unwinnable for Avocado from here. There's certainly things that you can do in PvP. Some kind of drops, if he kills a bunch of probes or something, very good engagement. He can definitely still take this game, but slight advantage, as you were saying, for Zinkler here.
Okay, so both players have 2 Reavers now. There's no shuttle yet for Avocado, but it's almost finishing. So if Zinkler attacks here very early, maybe he can snipe some units without Avocado really able to micro. But yeah, Zinkler is not committing too early, so the shuttle is done now. And yeah, I think with 2 Reavers, it's always hard to attack, even if you have 2 Reavers yourself. Oh no,
Okay, he's setting them out. Gonna lose the shuttle. Okay, it's a shuttle. Shuttle is 2 Reavers now. Oh, he kind of needs those goons to protect those Reavers, though.
Okay. I think Avocado is fine if he micros his Reavers. He's not using the shuttle at all to micro. Oh my god, this Reaver survives! Zinkler's not focusing it.
3 health.
That could have been an easy kill for Zinkler, but yeah, he just didn't see the Reaver was so low. And Avocado did not even use his shuttle to micro anything, but his Reaver survives anyway. So yeah, overall I think it was a good trade for Avocado, because he still has his 2 Reavers, while Zinkler lost all of them. But Zinkler has a lot more goons here.
You can see the game evened out a little bit more from that too. Like, Avocado can't necessarily go kill Zinkler, but Zinkler can't really kill him either. And they're both on 2 base, and they have actually Avocado pulled ahead in probes here. So maybe a little bit more consistent on making his probes back at home.
Yeah, so what do we have in the bases of the players? So Zinkler with 6 gateways now, Avocado with 5 and 1 more finishing soon, so they are almost even here. But what other upgrades? So we have the Double Forge coming up for Zinkler now, and the Citadel is done. I'm not sure if the speed, no speed for him yet. Meanwhile, we have for Avocado, we have the speed, the Zealot speed almost done, and he also has the Templar Archive. But we have a fight now, and
Ooh.
this looks good for Sinclair.
Yeah, I don't know about this fight from Avocado's side. Losing the shuttle and the reavers. Like, this is looking really good for Zinkler here now.
Yeah,
He just destroyed that fight. Yeah. Like, what can Avocado do from here? He's just behind now.
Yeah.
He's got one DT coming out. There are no obs with this army, so that could slow him down a bit. Actually, I don't even think Zinkler has an observer on the map.
There's
Okay, he does
one
have
on
one.
the left side,
Yeah.
but this is not really in place. I'm not even sure if he knows it's there, if he remembers it's there.
He's moving it now, so.
Ah, okay. Wow, perfect. But he's flying the wrong direction. Ah, okay, he's stopping again.
DT's going to the third base, but there's nothing there yet.
Oh my god, this DT could just go into the natural and kill so many probes.
Oh no, it's gonna attack the pile. Oh, he
Oh
stopped it from attacking that pile and barely.
my god.
Well, he kills the pro going to build third anyway.
Yeah, but now he knows it and he's sending the overseer. God damn it,
Yeah.
observer back.
He's building a cannon in his mineral line as well. At least at the natural.
This DT could have done so many probe kills.
Yep, but Zinkler playing aware, he knew that probe died to a DT. Looks like Avocado's just planning on keeping that DT there to slow down the possible expansion. But now that Zinkler knows it there, he's going to send the ob over there and go kill it eventually.
Yeah, so Sinclair is still way ahead. Also, we see Avocado just starting now his first attack upgrade, while Sinclair already has double upgrades running for quite some time. If he hits an attack with 1-1 upgrades against 0-0, he could end the game very well with his already big army advantage.
One thing we do have going for Avocado is he does have his third base up and running already. But like much like last game, Zinkler has a bigger army, so he could potentially hit and kill Avocado before that third base really pays off for him. And he is going to move across the map, so this could be dangerous. He's got 2 reavers in that shuttle too.
Yeah. And can he get this high ground? I think he can, because yeah, Avocado has the most of his army in the natural, so Sinclair has this high ground, and now that's what I'm talking about. He could go for the third base, but he has this high ground advantage if Avocado tries to defend it. Where are the storms?
There's one
nice
storm, here's another. Reavers haven't gotten into the fight yet, but here they come now. Another storm going down, just missing that one. This is looking good for Zinkler.
Yeah. Oh, nice storm here.
Yeah. One of the Reavers is still alive. Some of Zinkler's units aren't in this fight though.
Yeah, but overall he just have too much.
Yeah.
There's no
And he's
hope
got a
for
lot of
Avocado.
minerals too. Yeah. Even trading this out is okay for him if he sends the reinforcements. He doesn't want to lose his whole army though, because of the fact that Avocado does have that third base. But yeah, I think this is enough damage. He's forcing a pull at the natural here. If he can kill this natural base and contain Avocado, that's going to be it. Let's get that last Reaver.
Yeah, but 6 goons, and here's still some more units. Now he notices them, so this Nexus is down, and I think if he scouts the third base, he can just easily kill it now. He has also many units rallied. The first Storms and Templars are here, even Dark Templar, so it's not like Sinclair is forgetting everything in his base. Meanwhile, he's just continuously like using his third base, macroing, building units, sending them to reinforce, so he's doing all the right things to secure these games.
Yeah, very nicely played. He's sending that shuttle back maybe to go pick up another Reaver. Yeah, Reaver now. Avocado is going to be able to push down his ramp here momentarily, but I think Sinclair has enough to kind of kill this and push it back. Nice storm.
Yeah, this is completely over now. Now he can even go up the ramp maybe. Okay, not against the Reaver maybe, but... I mean, he did not scout the third base. There's a small shimmer of hope here for Avocado.
Very small. Well, it's like we saw in the first game. I mean, Avocado got the faster third base, but Zinkler just had an army that was too big for him to contend with, and he got run over. Same kind of thing here.
Oh, this Reaver
nice
shot.
Reaver shot. Yeah, very nice Reaver shot, but it's not enough. And now he could probably go up there. Yeah, and Avocado's gonna GG.
GG. Yeah, very solid performance by Sinclair.
2-0 lead now for Zinkler.
Yeah, I mean, the big point of the game where the advantage really shifted towards Sinclair was this attack here in the middle, where Avocado tried to attack with a small amount of goons and the shuttle with 2 Reavers, but Sinclair just had more units and he had a very good concave. Like, all of his units were able to just attack immediately in the fight, and because he had more, he was just able to dominate this fight super easily. Yeah.
Yep.
GG.
GG. All right. Well, will we have a 3-0? Will this? I hope not. I want to see a couple more games between these two.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm hosting the next game here. Game 3 of Sinclair against Avocado.
Invalid password. Okay, let's try again. I probably
Invalid
just tried to
password.
join too quickly.
Okay, 1 second.
I think if you try to join too quickly after it's created, that happens.
Yeah. Okay, it's created now.
All right, we're good.
Okay, so the next map is Neosilphid.
Extremely slow download.
Yeah, I want to say, is this like a 3-hour game here? Why is the download super slow?
Yeah. It's sped up at the end. It's like 6, 7, 8, 20, 30, 40. Okay, we're good.
Okay, the game is loaded up and we are going into it. Sinclair is ahead 2-0 and we have this game on Neosilphid. So, on the top 12 o'clock position, we have our green Protoss Sinclair.
And in the bottom right, we have our red Protoss Avocado. So this is Sylphid. Definitely more options here because there are no ramps. So it's definitely a map you could see something more aggressive coming out, like again something like a 3-gate or maybe a early 2-gate pressure. We'll have to see if either player wants to go for that. We haven't seen anyone do a 2-gate yet in this series, so maybe they're just both comfortable, you know, going 1 gateway tech openings or 1 gateway into core, and then executing their plan from there once they get the scout out of their base.
Yes, yeah, there are a lot of options on this map with like big goon numbers in the beginning. So you could go, of course, early 2-gate with zealots, but you can also go early 2-gate with goons and like overwhelm your opponent straight away when he tries to go for 1 gateway robotics, for example. And we have seen both players go 1 gate robotics in all of the games so far. So this could be an option. Same is true for a 3-gate rush. So I've seen a lot of players, like, they go for robotics and they have their Reaver, or they even they go for Reaver and they want to expand, and the other player has 3-gate and he has a lot of goons, and then the defender with the player with the robotics goes out a bit too early before he really has the Reaver, and then he just loses the game. So if you go for this Reaver opening on 1 gateway and you want to go for an expansion, you really have to be super careful to not get out too early before your Reaver's done against the 3-gate. So this could be the case here.
Yeah, definitely true. And you want to have like a good position too. Like, make sure your Reaver's not in a spot that's going to easily be picked off. Have like a good concave for your Dragoons, so they're all going to fire at the same time if your opponent tries to push in.
Yes.
And that goes true at any point in PvP. Like, when you get to these big armies in the later game and stuff, a lot of times it just comes down to who's got the better positioning. So a good habit to get into late game PvP too is just keeping your army moving around so you can be in a good position. Like, you don't want to get caught where his army has a great arc around yours and yours is caught in a ball. That's one way to lose a big fight, and oftentimes the game. Like, a lot of times those big fights, or one big fight, can decide the game in this matchup. So
yeah, that's a very important point. That the positioning is so important in PvP. You never want to have your army in one clump sitting there. You always want to keep moving, as you say, so you have a nice big line across the whole map or the whole center of the map. So whenever you see your opponent moving somewhere, you can just overwhelm him, like engulf him with that line of units.
Yeah, and it'll also help you with splash damage too if you've got Reavers or Storms in there. If their units are clumped, you're going to be hitting. So it's like doubly effective, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
for the player who's got the concave. But we'll have to see. We haven't gotten necessarily into those big late game situations yet between those two. We keep getting into those spot where Avocado gets the earlier third base and then Zinkler kills him. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get something like that here too. But no, we're still waiting to see what these players want to go for. We are seeing an earlier second gate coming from Avocado here. I didn't see quite what supply. It looked like maybe this is like a 10-21 gateway build. Oh, okay, he's gonna go for 3 gate without obs.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is gonna die if Zinkler's going DTs, but we can see here he's going Robo. So this is like what we were talking about earlier. He's gonna be able to put some pressure onto Zinkler, and if Zinkler doesn't defend properly, he could possibly bust him or kill the natural, kind of push him back into his main.
Yes, exactly, and I mean, Zinkler did this in both other games, so it's a nice choice for Avocado to maybe try to punish it a bit here, because he might assume that Zinkler is doing the same again. And yeah, this is exactly what I mentioned earlier. Zinkler really has to be super careful with the Reaver now, and he cannot move out his army too early before the Reaver's done, and he needs to have his Reaver in a very good position, yeah.
Yeah, and we'll probably see him go Observer first. Okay, he's gonna throw the Robo bait. I missed it. Like,
yeah.
So maybe if he scouted that second gateway, he can definitely go shuttle first here, and that's what he's doing. Okay, he is throwing the observatory down as well.
I'm a bit scared that he's rallying his units to his natural, because he will die to his 3 gate if he stays in the natural and the Reaver's not out. 100%.
Okay, we're seeing a Robo being added now for Avocado. He's similar build to what he did last game with the 3 gates and a Robo. Looks like he just likes to play aggressively or heavy on the units early on, and then eventually go up to an extra base against Zinkler. With Zinkler's just been playing pretty straightforward, pretty standard all 3 games so far.
Yeah. So wait, where are the units for Avocado? I think he really, again, did go for 3 gates, but because he added the robotics afterwards, he was not able to produce all of the 3 gates all the time. He should have like 7 or 3 more goons at this place here right now and kill him, actually. But he's not, so...
Yeah, again, his build is just a little inefficient here.
Yeah.
I'm with you there. But maybe he can still get some damage done. I mean, he's got more Dragoons on the way. He built this, okay, I was gonna say he built this Robo, but he doesn't have any additional tech for it, but there is an observatory started at the top of his base here now.
Yeah, and
good concave
really
and trades
see it
Zinkler.
here. Yeah, the concave is very good. That's one point, and the second point is, I mean, Avocado did go 3 gate. Zinkler did go 1 gate and then added his second gateway a lot later, but still only 2 gateways and the second later gateway, but he still has more goons here. This is incredible.
Yeah, it's just the lack of a proper build almost from Avocado, which is, I mean, weird to say or interesting to say considering he's in the round of 8, but...
Yeah.
I mean, we can see Zinkler's executing his build properly, and it's just paying off against even more gateways. Like, he's pushing the 3 gateway player back with only 2 gates at the moment in a Reaver.
Yes.
That really should never happen in this situation.
Yeah. So, but we'll see. So he did make some more units. I think at this point he has, okay, 9 goons against 7 goons. So if he has proper micro, he can definitely win this fight at least. Tried to snipe the shuttle, but it barely survived. So I think it gets super difficult for Avocado now.
Yep. Like, he's still got the Reaver, he's still got the goons. He's going to be able to push him back into his main and kind of... okay, the Reaver is out for Avocado, so maybe not. Okay. I think he will actually be able to push this back. So he won't get contained, which is really huge. If he got contained there with Zinkler up a base, that's really bad for him. So
yeah, I agree. So he barely did manage to get a good trade here. But now he's still, of course, way behind because Sinclair used all this time to get his complete Nexus up, while Avocado didn't even start his Nexus. And Sinclair still has another Reaver in the natural as well. So they both have basically the same amount of Reavers, but Sinclair just has more goons. Still more goons for Sinclair, despite 2 against 3 gates the whole time. And he has that Nexus out earlier, so big advantage here for Sinclair still.
Yeah, this game really highlights the importance of having a good build, executing it well. Just showing how Zinkler was able to get ahead just by having, a solid build. Avocado is going to try and push forward here. I don't know what he's going to be able to get done because the numbers, like you said, are really similar here. I guess he knows he has to do something because his Nexus is so much later, but I don't know if he's really going to be able to bust into this position.
Maybe if Sinclair stays in front of this pylon too much, he needs to go back a bit. Yeah, okay, so his Reaver needs to fight all the time. Yeah, okay, now it's fine. He went back, so his Reaver is here to fight.
His Reaver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh! Great shot
Nice
into the natural here, into the middle line, I mean. Oh, can he save it? Oh yes, he saves the Reaver. Okay,
nice.
that was good. That was good for Avocado. So now Avocado is ahead 5 probes here. And there are still 3 probes not mining for Sinclair. I hope he notices that soon.
So that's one way he can try and fight back into this game. I mean, he is ahead in probes now in his next finish up. We did see him get ahead in probes in the other games and still fall behind, taking his 3rd base a little bit too early and Zinkler being able to overrun him. And he does have a probe in position to take a 3rd base. So are we just going to say 3 games of that kind of happening? Like Avocado taking his 3rd base too early and Zinkler crushing him?
Yeah, I think especially on the Heartbreak Ridge game, for example, he was in a good position despite taking an earlier 3rd base. He had the units to defend, but then he just had weird fights and a bad positioning with his units. But I mean, if he can stay in a nice concave in a defensive stance, he can pull it off to defend the 3rd base. But he can't just run across the map and run into the concave of Sinclair.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we haven't started that 3rd base yet, but that probe's kind of sitting there. Although he looks like he has thrown down a 4th gateway, so maybe he's gonna think twice about getting that earlier Nexus here.
Yeah.
Cannon coming up in the mineral line for Zinkler, not wanting to take too much damage to some kind of a Reaver harass. But Avocado's still ahead here in probes. So this game's evened out a little bit. Zinkler is still ahead in supply, which means he's got a little bit stronger army. If you wanted to try and force some kind of an engage. If Avocado moves out again and takes a bad fight, though, that's one way he could throw this game. And just as I say that, he looks like he's going to push forward.
I'm getting
maybe
a bit scared here. Sinclair has a +1 research, like already 2/3 done, while Avocado didn't even start his research, and also the Zealot speed is almost done. So Sinclair definitely has the better army here.
He could get his army trapped. Look at this. He's going to get his army sandwiched.
I don't like this.
Is this game here? Okay, Zinkler's not sending his army back. He saw this move out with his Ob, even reacted by moving his goons over, but he's not moving them back to sandwich this army at all. Maybe he's confident he has enough to defend and he's going to go for some kind of a counter with this Dragoon force.
Oh, okay, this is getting very interesting now. Oh, Dragoons, no.
I mean, Zinkler's army's out of position, so this is doing more damage than Zinkler should have just crushed this by sandwiching it. The Dragoons are coming back into this fight now. And he's still going to win this fight, but he lost more than he should have.
Yeah, but he's still winning this fight easily. The Goon micro trying to snipe that shuttle and the Reavers was not the best move, I think. But I mean, it was an even trade because Sinclair was a bit out of position here. So overall, I would say we have a pretty even game. So Avocado even ahead in probes because it looks like throughout the whole series he just has the better probe production. So we will have an interesting game here. Sinclair on top of his upgrades, starting his +1 armor right after the +1 attack finished. So that is nice. Where are the Templar Archives? Okay, we have one Templar Archive and the second Forge for Sinclair. And nothing for Avocado so far.
He's really feeling the pressure. He's actually building a pylon wall here at his... trying to buy some time. Thinking Zinkler's about to attack and possibly kill him.
Yeah. We can't forget the speed zealot advantage. If you have a lot of speed zealots, that can really have a big difference in a fight. But Avocado has that Reaver, so Reaver is obviously good against zealots.
Yeah, I was gonna say speed zealots are actually really good against dragoons. Like, they have higher DPS, they will kill dragoons. The only reason dragoons are better earlier gaming is because of the micro capabilities. But we will see here. I mean, I think this position is defended enough with the Reaver here in the pylon wall that Sinclair can't really attack into it.
Yeah.
But Avocado can't really get a third base, whereas Zinkler should be able to set up his third base here momentarily.
Yeah, I think so. And yeah, Sinclair getting the double upgrades, he's really on top of his tech and upgrades all the time. He's always starting all the upgrades immediately when he can. So that's really nice. Also getting the Psystorm now. While Avocado, okay, just now started his Templar Archives. Oh,
Okay, now he's got to kill his own pylons to get out of here.
I think he has a big army now. I think he's fine here because of the two Reavers. If he uses those two Reavers, I think he's really fine.
Yeah, he's gonna push Zinkler back.
Zinkler
doesn't have any. Yeah, I mean Zinkler doesn't have any Reavers or Templars of his own. Okay, a couple of Templars are just coming out now. We don't have a shuttle to ferry those Reavers across, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I think Sinclair is fine anyways now because the first High Templars are out, the Storm is done researching, and also the next upgrade should finish here. Yeah, it's 1-1 for Sinclair now, while Avocado still has a long way to go for 1-1.
Yep, he just finished 1-0 not too long ago. So he is getting around with that observer, sees that Zinkler's third base is just finished up now. Or just finishing up.
He needs to send some probes.
Yeah, this time we actually have the earlier third base for Zinkler, so is this going to be the opposite story? The story of don't take a third base or you lose? Or is Zinkler going to actually be able to hold on to this third base and turn it into his advantage?
I have the feeling that Sinclair is able to turn it... I mean, he already has the advantage, I would say. So I think this third base... he can easily defend the third base. And
I agree.
The only problem I see is probe count is never that big. Even with Avocado also really skipping the probe production here, so both probe counts are not as big. But Sinclair again behind in probes.
And you can kind of see how he's moving his army in this line like we're talking about. So he's gonna, if he gets an engage here, he's gonna be able to engulf.
Yeah, let's see. The Templars are a bit behind here. The Templars can't be that far behind.
The Reavers are already in this fight, though. We'll see how this fight goes. Very nice storm there.
And Archon Warp. Yes. Yeah, and I think this looks pretty good for Sinclair. If he can snipe those Reavers, they are also damaged because of the storm. Yes.
Yes. Alright, a couple of Archons coming into the fight, though, from Ava, and a couple of more Templars. Cave doing some work here.
And it's 2-1 against 1-0 upgrades right now. So I think Sinclair has it here. This fight at least.
Yeah, very close fight, but Zinkler did come out slightly on top here. And now he's got about 20 supply lead, even despite being down 4 probes.
Yeah.
So his army's definitely much stronger. The reinforce is coming. This isn't looking good for Avocado. I mean, Zinkler could probably press his advantage here and possibly just end the game.
Yeah, I think Sinclair has it here. This Nexus is a bit misplaced here. It's a bit too far right and too far down, I think. One hex.
Yeah, might be.
But still, he's so far ahead.
I see a red dot on the mini map there. I don't know if you see it.
Ah, okay.
Zinkler's fourth base. Oh, it's okay. Okay, there we go. That's why I see a red dot.
I see it.
That's why it's misplaced.
Yes, I thought it was his own pylon. But still a weird decision
So
to misplace your Nexus just because of one pylon. I would just kill it and then place the Nexus.
I agree.
Okay, upgrades are 2-1 to 1-1 now, so it's a bit more even, but Avocado not even researching additional upgrades, while Zinkler is double upgrading still, so when Zinkler is 3-2 against 1-1, he will win every fight. The upgrades, they matter a lot. That's a big difference.
And his army is just so much bigger and stronger. Like, Avocado's army is like a control group here, whereas Zinkler's got at least 2 control groups, so maybe a little bit more here. Yeah, I think this is it. Like, he's going to be able to either deny this base or just go kill Avocado. Wherever he attacks, he's going to be able to kill it, and that's just going to get him further ahead.
Yeah, I think so. He did have very good macro, even during that fight.
Nice storms.
Yeah, and I think this could be the final. The storms are already used for Avocado. Okay, he has one more now, but on very nice storm. Very, very nice, but I think it's not enough. Zinkler just has too much.
There is a Reaver here, but again, still, I don't think it's enough. Too little, too late at this point. He's trying his hardest to defend. He knows he has to win this game. If he loses it, he's out. But he just does nothing to defend this sheer amount of Dragoons left here.
No.
Well played by Zinkler, I gotta say. I mean, I heard things from Avocado like he was gonna win it or something, but Zinkler's showing some PvP prowess here and taking him down 3-0.
Yeah, it's like very convincing performance here by Zinkler. He did. I mean, the only criticism I have to say for Zinkler is his pro production, but apart from that, I think he is playing really well. He always hits every upgrade as soon as he can research it. He is macroing, he's adding his gates, he's spending his money. Most of the time, I mean, in this case, he's already super far ahead, so in this case, he has some money, but before that, he was already using, always using his gateways, making more units, and his positioning of the units was also very good. So nice job there.
Yeah, well played. So congrats to Zinkler, there to make it to the round of 4 semifinals.
Yeah, congratulations. Yes, we will take a last look at the bracket here. Yeah, so just to recap what we saw today, we first saw Ethan or Nice going up against Shoop, and he was able to win that 3-0. So very convincing game there. And in the second series we had another Zerg defeating a Protoss with Shad going up 3-1 against White. Also very strong game. So there is a ZVZ here in the semifinals in the top half of the bracket. And in the bottom half we had Father defeating Zabas with 3-1 in this TVT. And now we just saw Zinkler defeating Avocado very convincingly with 3-0. So we will have a ZVZ and a PVT in the semifinals. So really looking forward to that.
Also means we won't have a mirror matchup finals.
Yes. Yeah. I want to mention the semifinals and the finals are both casted by Aggie on Aggie's Twitch channel tomorrow. I will show you the Team Liquid calendar here. If we switch to Brute War, of course. So today is Thursday. We just saw this round of 8 here, BSL ChoboLeague. And tomorrow at 21, that is 9 PM CET, we can see the semifinals and the grand final in one cast. Yeah, just tomorrow, casted by IRK's Aggie. So definitely check that out, guys. It will be like very nice, interesting games. Yeah,
and we'll see who won ChoboLeague. exciting. Looking forward to that. Also, if I may, later we will be doing a CPL coaches show match today at 7 p.m. Eastern, which is about 2.5 hours from now on the CPL Twitch, which will be announced in a couple hours here. I don't think it's on the Team Liquid calendar, but if you're in CPL, definitely check that out. MasterReY Ro8 here himself is going to be playing in that. Couple of PVZs against Art of Turtle, so definitely check that out if you like watching his games. If you like his casts, you can see him in action over there. And yeah, we'll have some PVTs, PVZs, and ZVTs for you.
Yeah, so I will put the time in the chat here again. So CPL coaches show match at 1 a.m. CET. So yeah, that is in 3.5 hours. Coaches. Let me just put it in the chat for everyone to see here. Show match. Okay, so there you have the information about the CPL show match coming up in the chat here. So that's coming up today. Definitely check that out. You can see me in action when I'm not casting but playing. Yeah, the coaches are myself, like I'm Ray, MasterReY, also known as Horotos. And my opponent is Art of Turtle. So that is one game that is casted there. I missed it. Was there another game on this cast?
It's from replay. Yeah, so there's going to be your games against Art of Turtle. Then there's going to be PVT, which is going to be Future Media against 80s Mullet. And then there's TVZs of Cross or Crossy. Just some ladder games because we had some trouble getting the TVZ coaches show match up and running and working and played. So eventually we just got one of the coaches to send in a couple of his ZVT replays. But definitely check that out. All 3 matchups will be showcased, cast by the casting coordinators of CPL, Nablime, aka Not Lemon, and State Zero, aka Baram. So yeah, definitely check that out.
I've put the matches in the chat as well. So yeah, definitely check that out, guys. And as again, don't forget the BSL ChoboLeague semifinals and finals casted tomorrow at 9 p.m. CET by Eggy.
Yes, lots of StarCraft coming up in the next couple days here.
Yeah, and yeah, just like one last information about my own stream here. I'm always streaming some Protoss ladder games on the weekends, so if you like a high B, low A player, hoping to get to high A again, if you want to watch me playing some ladder games, definitely check me out on this channel on the weekends.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to play some more again too. Remember we played some PvP.
Yes.
I'd be interested in playing you some more sometime. So, yeah.
Yeah, we can do some matches.
Sounds good.
Okay, so with that being said, all the important info are out there, I think. So yeah, to wrap up the stream, we saw some interesting games. Thanks again for organizing all of this to Zero, and also very active staff member Averti, always in every chat, organizing every cast and so on, like putting a lot of effort in this. Yeah, and definitely. Also thanks to you guys, of course, for always joining us here in these casts, in these streams, supporting the StarCraft events. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see ya. GG's.
Yeah, GG's. Bye-bye.